Are you in the mafia?
All right, here we go.
Yes, sir. Welcome to another edition of the Adam Dunn Show. I am your host, Adam Dunn.
I'm Dave Jarnick.
And the rest of the gang are all here.
I'm just hanging in the background.
We're all over the place.
Dab time.
I'm in the snowiest place. Dave's in the least snowiest place.
2 knuckles deep.
I'm knee deep out here. At least.
Did you say 2 knuckles deep, Vinnie? Because you got that email too from Jane.
Yeah.
It's on her way.
Depository
discount. What? She's selling those now?
That's always a good game.
Get out of here! Not on her website. She just talks about loving them.
It's weird.
Yeah.
Well, we have an eclectic show, as you'd imagine. We did have 2 guests. The funny part is as usual, in my Adam Dunn Show fucking cursed world, the show was fully planned from the minute that the show was finished last week. I had it all lined up. Guests, everything. I was like, should I put a flyer out early? No, you never know what's going to happen. As making the flyer, everything changed. The weather just kind of switched around on us. And one of the guests that was coming in, she was coming to see Emancipator at Red Rocks. So that got canceled. That was for Sunday. Everything got pushed back. So next week, we're going to have the same show we're supposed to have this week. But this week, we're just going to make it all crazy and have we got Willie Waldman calling in. Who's Willie calling in with, Vinny? Give me an update on that one.
He's calling in with somebody that did a hemp documentary back in the day.
That's what I was talking about. Okay, that's going to be interesting because I'm sure we're going to have a lot of crossover there.
Right.
Yeah.
And then we've also got Chuck Solo might call in, right?
And OD might call in.
Michael Henning here.
Hello.
All right, there we go.
Hey now.
You said documentary, and then blammo, there he was.
I thought you had to say his name 3 times.
I barely even got it out once. How you doing?
Mike, will you turn your head?
Great. Can you hear me okay?
Yes, but turn your phone sideways. Let's get a little more of your beautiful face.
Can you hear me okay?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yes.
we can hear you good.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Can you hear me okay now? Wait.
Yeah, we can hear you.
All right.
We hear you. You don't hear us.
You don't hear us?
Yes, I do.
You hear us?
Okay, good.
Michael, turn your phone sideways, please. We'll see more of that beautiful mug of yours.
Look at that. Oh, so much better.
Wow.
I know better.
Well, you are the director, right? So
Yeah.
You'd get the shit figured out.
Just don't direct myself too much.
Be like one of those. All right, let's figure this out. All right, we got you. Welcome to the show.
Glad to be here.
So first of all, let's because this is one of those off the cuff kind of deals, as you know, is the way we like to do stuff. So Willie had mentioned you had done a hemp documentary. What year was that?
Well, it was released 2010.
Okay.
But that was it was still a while after that, but not too long after that. About eight years later, the issue of hemp being illegal was transformed by the Farm Bill of 2018.
Correct.
And they legalized it in all 50 states. which prior to that
killed your whole production. You're like, God damn it! Now everything I said is wrong. All of a sudden.
No, that's what we were shooting for. We were hoping that would create that kind of a change.
Oh, nice.
And it was worth the wait, I guess. But strange things are happening now. I found out that we're called the first wave. All the hemp activists of today say, "Oh, you're the first wave." So, first wave, and the first wave was dealing with the fact that all the industrial nations in the world, even China, was growing hemp, and marijuana was illegal in all those countries. So, what the hell is going on here? And they said, "Well, we can't tell the difference from the air." And I said, "Well, they can in Canada. They can tell the difference in Canada, Germany, France. Why can't our law enforcement can't tell the difference?" Anyway, long story short, that we were the only film on the subject. There were a lot of people who put a lot of heart and soul into the whole movement to legalize industrial hemp.
Sure.
It was just so bizarre how they were so intent on keeping it categorized as pot. And then it hit me. I found out what they were doing. You go to the Drug Enforcement Agency's main website. It's still there today. It's called the Federal Cannabis Eradication Program. And they get $10. They get $1.05 per plant that they chop down and bring in, and then they burn it. Right? They bring in bundles of 20. But we were filming them doing this on the Pine Ridge Indian Reservation. We noticed they weren't eradicating anything. They were hitting leaving the roots in the ground, cutting it all down with weed eaters. Seeds are falling, and they took it off, and they came back 2 more years. They're harvesting hemp, and they're the highest paid hemp farmers in the world.
Sure, $1 per plant. That's great.
$1.05 per plant. Yeah, and so then we started realizing that what we really filmed, I didn't know it at the time. We were filming a crime in progress because they were doing treaty abrogation, which is interpretation of the treaty between the United States and the Lakota Sioux, which was so preposterous that they've changed that law now. It was called the Chevron Doctrine, where the federal judges were passing down the responsibility to these agencies to define
creating bureaucracy, basically.
Yeah. And so it's kind of like when somebody's busted for something and then they legalize it. Do you keep them in prison?
Was this at White Plumes?
Yeah, Alex White Plume.
Okay, so that's okay. Yeah, of course.
Of course.
So that's kind of where it's all piecing together now. When the timing that you said, I'm like, wait a minute, this sounds. And then of course, that was the beauty of the whole thing with Alex and his whole situation is that not only was it getting like you were saying, where they were cutting them and the seeds were flying out and stuff. It was also going down the river and going into all these other places and ending up in all sorts of spots. Yeah, we had his daughter on the show many years ago. Her. Yeah, she's a beautiful girl. Yeah, cool. That's good. Now it's coming together. It's coming together. So what happened was that one of the guys in our film, if you ever have a chance to watch it, you can fast forward up to the scene where Craig Lee just goes ballistic on the whole federal thing and Craig's a major activist, and he called me up about. I know Craig very well. Craig? Also, yeah, we know Craig. There's only one entity that I can't vote for. It's the DEA. Anyway, he called me up and said, "Michael, the Chevron Doctrine has been overturned, which means that the agencies that came out there and did that were actually doing a wrong. They never could interpret treaty law and all that kind of stuff. It's just preposterous that they let them do that. So we're trying to bring it back to the courts again, and I have a motion written that could actually do that. We're in the process right now. But the point is, and the thing is that's most concerning, is that they're still going out to these farms where people, for the first time, trying to grow hemp. I know a guy here in Texas. He had 880 acres, and when the time came to harvest, people in other states are growing smokable marijuana with like 30% THC, but the hemp farmers, they can't exceed 0.3. Correct. That means it's zero, but just a fraction, 0.3. And if they get 0.4 or 0.5, there was no mercy. This guy's crop was 0.5, 0.5. And they told him he had to eradicate the crop. And he had to destroy. He didn't get to chop it down and give it to them in bundles of 20 and get $1.05 per plant, which is what they should do if a farmer's crop is too high. Right. Instead, he had to burn his crop. Now, you're a farmer. You don't really give a damn about hemp or marijuana or anything. You're just a farmer, and you see, hey, this is an opportunity to make some money. Yeah, it's a good crop.
Are you think you're going to do it the next year when the first year they made you burn it down because of a fraction of a they're doing this on purpose, and we're trying to put together another production. I swore I wasn't going to do one, but this is so outrageous. I felt I needed to put it together, and so we're calling it Hempsters Reap the Harvest. And the ones who are really reaping the harvest of the DEA, they're still doing it, still on their website.
It's like the indoor. It's like with all the indoor growers. It's the electric company that always wins. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter how you look at it. They always win because
and the licensing division.
You're paying them every time. And also just what you were saying earlier, as far as like a lot of these hemp farmers were growing soybean or growing something else before, and they always had protection from the government by, if something went wrong, they have crop insurance. If they got subsidies, they didn't have to worry about even growing anything in the first place. And then all of a sudden you give them this plant, which is actually, it's not hard to grow, but it's a fucking aggressive plant that really, ruins your machinery. And it's like, oh, we have to upgrade everything now because we got this tough thing where we used to just grow these little babies, like really easy to harvest stuff. Now all of a sudden it's, whole new machinery, tool and die everything up. And then all of a sudden 1 year in and you're bankrupt, you know what I mean? So definitely.
They do have a new device out there that everybody should know about. That trumps the decorticator. It's called the officiator, and this company has just put it out. So look that up. But in the meantime, what's going on is that they are also committing some type of an illegal action that only the Department of Justice can come in and moderate, because they're going out there under the auspices of that they're eradicating a plan. They're not. We got it on camera. We can prove to everybody that they know that they're not. There's no way that they don't know that when they chop it down with a weed eater, it's not going to grow back the next year, because they come back every year and reharvest it. So they're doing this for the money. Imagine that. They're doing it for the money.
Like that ever happened in the United States?
Well, for $1.05, you can actually that's per week on this show for Patreon. It's $1.05 per week. So for 4 plants from the DEA, you could have an Adam Dunn Show Patreon
monthly subscription.
So how's that? How's that for?
Yeah. Why won't they just let them harvest it that way? Alex Whitebloom said, I make more money that way, so I'll just grow it every year and then eradicate it, and then grow it and eradicate it, and we'll make a lot more money than selling it as a fiber.
Yeah.
But what you're just witnessing is the powers that be are trying to put the genie back in the bottle, and if they keep going the route that they're going on, they're going to wear these farmers out. And the farmers go. It's already happening, by the way. Farmers are starting to go. What the hell is this? And it's a crime that everybody worked so hard to get it to this point. Now they're going to.
I'm going to send you Vinnie's number, and hopefully you can.
Hey, Willie, turn your mic off.
Yes. I got my mic up here. How you doing?
I know.
Hey, Willie,
we're still talking.
Well,
to
Willie's
Michael
trying
Henning.
to get his hemp movie guys on. I have some guys that made a wonderful.
Willie, do
I
you
hear
watch the show? You just.
It is.
We're still working with Michael here. Hang
just
on a
muted
second. Give
yourself.
us like 20, 30 minutes.
It's where you came from.
Well,
Hey, Willie.
hello.
Can you hear? Oh,
There
goodness.
you go.
We hear
We hear you
Vinnie
now.
doesn't want me for 30 minutes. Am I there finally?
Yeah.
Hang on. Mute yourself, and when you hear Adam go, and now it's Willie Waldman on the Adam Dunn Show, then you'll come back on. Right now, we're in the middle of this story with Michael.
If we remember where we were at.
Yeah, I remember, and that's the point. Can I go on now?
Yeah.
You can.
Okay. This is where it gets really wild, because I called the Department of Agriculture once upon a time. This is very recent. And I said, hey, I'm interested in growing some crops here in Texas. And I want to know what the licensing or the fee would be to grow corn, cotton, and I said one other plant, whatever it was, and wheat, corn, cotton, and wheat. And so what would I need to do to get a permit? He goes, sir, that's your God-given right to grow those crops. You don't need any permit or any pay any fee to grow them. You could just grow it. I said, well, what about hemp? And he, who are you? I already told you, I'm a guy who wants to grow some. I mean, he just fell apart at the seams.
Right.
And he goes, we're just an outpost agency, and we're talking to the wrong guy. But his first statement was, of course you can grow hemp. I mean, of course you can grow wheat, cotton, and whatever. But when hemp comes in, it's so demonized. It's so, and it's the most benign of the varieties that they're talking about. some of the modern stuff could knock you down and you get lost in your own home. But hemp,
Adam, when you were listing off the things that they weren't allowed to do with hemp that you could do with other agriculture crops, you got to remember too, with all the other agriculture crops, the price of what you're going to get before you plant the seed in a standard ag contract.
right?
You work it out with your buyer. They pay you a third down, a third when it's sometime in process, and a third upon delivery. And there you have it. Or it's a half and a half. But it's never let the farmer shoulder all the burden. And then with your guy, Michael, it seems to me that this is more of a matter of them possibly not testing their crop properly, one, and then them having their own results to then challenge the government when they say it's 0.5 so that they can rip them off.
When you start talking, you're like cutting hairs at 0.05 or 0.4.
Yeah.
So it's very easy for them to skew any of those numbers.
Well, here's what I'm trying to promote. I can't use profanity on the air, I guess, but
no, of course you can. Of course you can.
fuck them.
Fuck you can't.
Fuck those bastards. They should. We as a people should be livid at the fact that we're letting this parental government type setting scare us into. You're letting these guys go up for 30% right down the same street, and it doesn't make any sense. Why would you care about our 0. any percent? But in Colorado, there's dispensaries coming out of their ears, and it's 30%. We should be, just like Craig Lee is in the film. You should be. There comes a point in time where people need to get pissed off and go, "What are we doing? Why are we listening to this crap?" Okay, but guys, we're going to edge it up to 0.4. If we could just get 0.5, it should be not even an issue. Yeah. How many times do they go to an apple farmer and test the arsenic in the seeds, which the arsenic is in the seeds of apples? Yeah. I mean, come on.
Right. Somebody has to eat like 40 apples or 50 apples in a row or something if they wanted to get the poison. It probably is more, and I'm sure it's much more poisonous than cannabis. Much.
Yeah. I mean, you'd have to smoke a telephone pole to get even a slight buzz on hemp. It's not worth smoking.
Like there's some place like Switzerland has a 1%, which is a good number. That makes sense. That totally makes sense because, or 0.9. I think 0.9 would be a great cutoff period because that's theoretically at that point you open the door to so many new varieties and terpenes and all sorts of cool shit. But you also it's anything above that, and it's either like really low quality cannabis or it's out of the realm of hemp at that point. Really.
Yeah. That's a mistake I think also the hemp industry is making. They're trying to figure out a way to get some THC variety of hemp so that they can squeeze it. We've got that covered, guys. We've got high THC yield cannabis plants, and it's all cannabis. That's what people need to realize. Hemp is not hemp, and weed is not. We should never call it marijuana because that's fallen right into the hands of the demonization. It's all cannabis. That's all there is.
Isn't all of that with the numbers just bullshit anyway? Now that they allow hemp-derived THC to be infused into edible products and sold nationwide.
Yeah.
So what does the 0.3% even matter anymore? The only thing it prevents a hemp farmer from doing is growing competitive high-end flower. They can do everything else because of the tonnage they get out of it.
Right. The main thing is that nobody knows the difference between how you grow hemp and how you grow smokable cannabis, because you would never put a marijuana plant in a hemp field to begin with. The cross-pollination would cut your crop in half. So,
somebody mute Willie's phone.
He forgets that. Yeah, no, it's counterintuitive, and the thing is funny is that back in the day, if they were smart, they would have let people do that because they would have lowered the quality within about 5 or 6 generations. It would have been like, that's it, you killed it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it cuts it in half. Every season it's growing, it cuts it in half. And I don't know how to put it into words. It's just like in a free and open society, which is what we're supposed to be. Yeah, what is that?
Yeah, where? Here?
We're so far from where we should be. We've drifted so far. And so I'm going to try to make this next film. If anybody out there wants to get involved, call your show, and then you get him in touch with me because we're livid, man. We just want to get out there. And
So back to that
start
documentary,
filming this.
was it focusing only on
Yes.
farmers, or was it on hemp in general, or
It's on the farmers. It's on the activists.
No, I mean, I can see myself here, and I
Rod,
can
we hear
see
you.
Adam, and I can see.
Mute your phone, Rod.
Mute.
Rod, mute. How do we
Hey,
mute
Rod,
his
we
phone?
can hear you.
Mark can do it.
Mute my
Mark,
microphone.
mute him.
All right.
Mute him.
No, Vinny, you're the host.
I got it.
I
I figured
think
out.
So you took it. Okay.
Am I the host?
But I really appreciate you guys doing this because nobody's getting this word out right now. And any way we can do it, it needs to be done because it's just.
What I was asking before there was so when you did this documentary, were you focusing on American hemp mostly, or was there a little bit international vibe going on
We were focusing on the activists.
from the activist side? Okay.
As a matter of fact, some people said this film isn't about industrial hemp; it's about activism, and it really is because when Woody planted 4 seeds in Beattyville, Kentucky, on purpose to be arrested, he had no idea that 4 years later, when he went to court, that he was in store for a year in imprisonment for doing that. And that's when something very amazing happened. And if you go ask people about this, nobody knows. I mean, I go up to people all the time. Have you ever heard of jury nullification?
For sure.
Nobody knows what you guys probably do, but most people.
Well, because judges don't inform juries about it anymore.
Right.
It
and that's
stopped in the
bullshit.
80s, I believe, under Reagan.
Yeah. Now they can always do it because how can when they say it's not guilty, it's not guilty. But with Woody, he was guilty, and he was on camera saying it's hard work breaking the law. So they said, did he know he was breaking the law? Was a big question, and there he is saying it's hard work breaking. So he was a slam dunk to go to prison for 1 year.
Was that the tree? Was that when he was doing the tree stuff? Was that the tree stuff, Tony?
Yeah. It was the time. As a matter of fact, we even hiked out to Julia and found her tree.
Right.
When we got there, we go, how are we going to interview her? And they sent it up in a bag, and she interviewed herself. But the point is that if people knew the power we have, is like the jury nullification thing is a perfect point. They nullified the law, and that becomes case law. And if you keep building case law, all of a sudden the issue that you're dealing with becomes legal due to all the case law. So everybody who hears the show, remember, if you ever want to make a difference, let people know what jury nullification is. And if you want to get out of doing jury duty, just ask the question, what's jury nullification? And they'll send the whole room home.
Because they know you're a troublemaker. You're a rabble rouser.
That's what happened for Woody. Woody got out of it because it was jury nullification, plain and simple. So yay citizens.
Yeah, it was funny. In 1993, or let me see, 94, Natural Born Killers came out, and he came over to. I was in Amsterdam, and I had my shop there, and he came for the grand opening. Stopped by my place, and we did like a video bong hit with him, and he was super nervous about us showing the video to anybody because nobody knew. Like, he was a super secret squirrel at that time. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then a couple years later, it was like I was like, I think we could show this to people now. I think pretty much everybody knows that Woody smokes weed now. It was pretty obvious. But at that time, this was around 94, and he was super nervous because he was
once
still
again,
Cheers.
people not knowing the law. I got on Willie's bus, and I was filming us as he rolled the joint. We got ready to smoke. And he said, "Hey, son, turn that camera off. Mama didn't raise no fool." And I thought, well, maybe not, but it's foolish to think that anything could happen to you if you're filmed smoking it.
Well, yeah, it's pretty funny. Like in general, though, the Instagram generation of now, it's the opposite of, like, I remember many times thinking like, wow, if people could have seen the shit I got to see at the times when I got to see it, but if you had taken a picture of it, you would have been fucking taken out in the first place. So it's like all the really good shit is not on Instagram,
Yeah, that's for sure. I know there's a guy who ran a magazine in Texas called Buddy Magazine. Stony Burns was his name. And back in the day, he got arrested for a seed that was found in his car. And he did jail time for a seed. I mean, we've come a long way. I've always wondered if people are still in prison that were convicted of marijuana crimes.
There's been times where people have been convicted of a seed and been charged with the potential amount of weed that it could have grown. There's literally people have stretched it that far and said this could grow a pound of weed, and it's like we're gonna charge you like you found 10 seeds. That's 10 pounds in their mind. You know what I mean? And you're like, no, not really. Not if
Isn't that the equivalent of saying we found you with $10 on you when we arrested you? However, we think you're a really good drug dealer. You would have turned that $10 into 10 million. Ergo, you owe us taxes on $10 million. Tax evasion, jail.
It's all about education, man. I mean, if you just only knew the right way to put it. Gatewood Galbraith was one of my heroes. He's in the film. And Gatewood was good friends with Willie. And Gatewood would stand outside. We were doing a screening. I'd walk out and he'd be standing on the street smoking a joint. I think, Gatewood, why do you, what's the deal? I'm a lawyer.
He was a judge in '93 for the cup that we organized in Amsterdam. So he came over there in '93 and he was just running for governor, I think, at the time. And he was such a character. And it's funny because now I'm like, he could have never survived the Me Too time period. He would have gone down in flames because that guy was like, his head was on a swivel with any woman within 10 feet. He was like, whoa, he was in Amsterdam going nuts, dude. It was so funny. I was like,
that's everybody that's his age, even Jack.
Exactly. They were all like that.
Gatewood was a good friend of mine. He told me once, he goes, Michael, I was born at the perfect time. During the summer of love, I was at my prime, and now Viagra.
Oh gosh!
Yeah, that sounds exactly like him.
He always had a joke, but he had a statement that I carry with me. Every generation has to reclaim their freedom. Every generation has to reclaim their freedom. It's like, wow. When I think about it, that's true. You know, the next one that's coming down the pike, they're already in that mode of reclaiming their freedom, and a lot of them realize what a joke our elections are. I mean, it's the electoral college, you know, that's it, man. You're just an act of, I'm free. And so you go vote, but it doesn't make any difference. I want to see a country where we maybe go back to smaller communities and then your vote would count, you know, but that's not the subject. The colonies grew hemp though.
Oh, sure did.
Well, they paid taxes. They had to pay taxes in hemp, and that's the one which I think we need to go back to that because that would be much easier to contribute something that is beneficial to everybody than it is to give money. You know, which is
wouldn't it save our economy too? I mean, if they really unleashed it. I heard the amounts of money that they're making is.
Well, you know, I was lucky enough to be in Amsterdam during the '90s when there was the only place that you could kind of test these waters of all these different hemp products and stuff, and so we got a chance to kind of see, you know, because everybody claims there's a lot of big claims with hemp. That's the problem, is that everybody got a little too over the top of like, you know, I believe it can save the planet for sure, or save the world or whatever, because there is so many facets. Like if you start looking at the medicinal side, then you look at the building side, you look at the clothing side, you're like, it kind of covers all bases, right? It's got your food, it's got your clothing, your housing, you know,
food, fiber, fuel, and medicine is the only plant that does all four that I know of.
Exactly. So in that sense, it definitely can, but it's just a matter of people got too hyper focused on CBD and all the bullshit, and it killed the whole market. It made the market fucking tank over, like, you know, really fast.
And it was exactly what the DEA said. They said you're just doing this to legalize marijuana, and Woody said no. We want these crops to be known. Well, why would I just think the hemp companies should not try to get the product to make you high. I mean, what you're tainting the whole purpose of why we pushed that through was to say we're not using it for that.
Well, yeah, it's that categorization of saying hemp, and then people think, oh, okay. Like there was a moment in time, like when we were doing our stuff, that there was no CBD, so everybody really thought of hemp as hemp. It was like, oh, this is made out of hemp. Fibers, that, and then. But once we got past that point, now it's like if you ask people, they're back to being surprised that you can make clothing out of it. You're like, no, we went through this already, guys. You know, now let's move ahead. There's actually we had a guest on from Iceland a few weeks ago, and she organized an event out there, and she had a doctor coming in or a guy coming in who had figured out how to use hemp to replace blood plasma, which I was like, wow, dude. Now we're taking it to the next level, you know. I mean, batteries was one thing, and you know, and then to be making, you know, for me making blood plasma, it was like, okay, it's always surprising you, right? Cannabis is one of those things that can never stop surprising.
Never stops. It's amazing.
But that's the argument, right? We go back to some arbitrary decision by the U.S. government to classify anything as hemp if it has less than 0.3% THC. And that's like the 38th parallel. It's stupid, you know.
It's ridiculous. It's all cannabis.
Yeah,
That's all
it's all cannabis, and that's what led to nobody growing the fiber hemp that you're talking about right now.
Well, it's the least. I mean, when you break it all down, right? Like if you were to not looking at cannabis as a smokable product, but just looking at it as a hemp product or hemp plant, you got the seeds actually produce the most volume and the best money kind of generating thing, because you can actually like figure it out real quick. You go, we have 1 million of these and it's worth this, and if you were to squish it, you're going to get this much oil out of it, and you're going to get, so it's very easy to quantify. The fiber is the least fucking like it has the least, because it's the most amount of work to get. Did
you just say fucking?
I did. It's the fucking least. It's the most pain in the ass part. Like the herds is the third. So it goes basically like the seeds, herds, and then fiber. Even though the fiber feels like it'd be the worth the most, it just takes the longest to get there. Whereas the herds, you could take them out of the plant and use it immediately as something. So it has the cellulose in there.
They've also done. There's a company here in Dallas that has developed a system that makes it just like cotton. I mean, there's no difference. You can make hemp T-shirts now, but the technology's not out there because what was the senator's name who pushed this all through from Kentucky? McCullough or not? I forget his name, but anyway, he was the main senator.
Mitch McConnell.
Mitch McConnell, right? McConnell,
yeah, Turtle Man.
Yeah, he's a strange guy because he came to this company in Dallas and said, we got all this leftover hemp bundles, but what are we going to do with it? Can you develop a way to make it fabric like T-shirts, cotton? And they did it, and he said they never heard back from him. And so they shelved it. They have it though. They have the technology now, but the main thing is just that we have to I don't know. Once you, it's like the highest person in the room is the person who's the highest. Once you get a new perspective on it, and everybody can get there.
Someone had to freeze.
Okay, well, we lost Michael, so I guess Willie, this is your intro, baby. Come at us, buddy.
Well, that's weird.
Well, Willie Waldman here trying to introduce Rod Pitman.
Hey, Rod.
Rod Pitman produced this hemp movie. I think it's almost the same thing your friend was just into, the Hempster plant seed movie and documentary.
Geez, is this a battle? Are we having a battle? Are we having a documentary?
Yeah, are you flexing right now?
Is that what's going on?
Yeah, we're having a documentary battle, I think.
Wow, I didn't know.
Well, there's a couple people with documentaries. There's a
Jesus doc battle 524.
Well, Rod Pitman goes back to me.
Old white guys.
Old white guy documentary battle.
Yeah, there is. It's the battle of the hemp documentaries, and they're pretty.
Can you guys hear me?
Am I on?
Yeah, you're breaking up.
There he is, Rod Pitman. There he is.
We hear you, Rod.
Well, hold on,
Don't worry, Mark.
Rod is
we got you.
Okay.
We're here.
Hold on. Rod is a big-time movie producer I've known since 1998 at the Sundance Film Festival. He's put together a bunch of Willie Nelson, Chris Christopherson documentaries, many hit TV shows, and he did a movie on hemp. So I thought he would be a fantastic guy to put on here. Here is Rod Pitman.
Wow. Now I'm confused. This is great.
Yeah.
All right.
Wait.
Welcome to the show, Rod.
Hey, Rod.
Oh, thank you for having me. Can you hear me?
We do.
Yes.
Yes.
All right. And because, I'm an analog man in a digital world, but my speaker's not screwing up the sound or anything, right?
No, you sound good. You sound good.
Okay. So there's been a little confusion. Michael Henning was a director. Actually, I was in Dallas working, not in Dallas, I was in Portland, Oregon, working on a documentary that involved Jim Morrison and the Doors. And they had an Avid Post House at the time. And I was there looking for an editor. And I heard this Texas accent across the room. And I thought, oh my God, because I grew up, my dad was a Presbyterian minister, and he had a church in Dallas, and I did the Wonder Bread years there. And I thought, oh my God, there's a Texan in here. How did a Texan get in here? And I went over and started talking to Michael Henning, and we started a friendship. And he directed a movie called Hempsters Plant the Seed with Willie and Merle. And so we went and did that. And then he introduced me to, Woody Harrelson was in it. And so I met Joe Hickey, who's Woody's friend. And Hickey and I worked on some stuff. And then we did a movie called Normal Life with Ray Manzarek at the Doors, the National Organization of Reform of Marijuana Laws. I went to Amsterdam with this Jim Morrison thing. And
now that's interesting. That's interesting because the other day we were talking about how I was out in front of my shop one day and I was standing there. We were smoking a joint, and Dave Manzarek walks up and basically says, "Hey, can I have a hit of that?" And we're like, "Sure." And then he walked past us. We're like, "Was that real? Did that really just happen?" And it might have been the same time period if that was what was going on. It might have been the same trip.
Interesting.
And that was around 2000 and maybe 6, maybe 5. Is that about the same time?
That's a little later, I think. But I go to Amsterdam with this Morrison thing, and from America, and there's all these shops, and you can smoke pot and yada yada yada. And there's a place called the Doors, a club
I know
that you could go to.
Yeah.
And Amsterdam was just such an enlightening, pleasant moment for the cannabis thing for me.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, growing up in Texas, I used to sell this Mexican dirt weed, and you'd get 5 to life for a joint that was basically, if your older brother and sister sold you some parsley with birdseed in it, you could end up in Huntsville. So luckily, I returned to California. My family's from there. But what I found intriguing was it's like all these things have happened with cannabis. I went to the pharmacy yesterday and got this magazine while I was waiting for in line. It's the National Geographic, The Cannabis Revolution. And I'm flipping through here and looking at the history and all this. And I get it. There were several phases of people that were involved in this that go way back in time. But wow, why isn't Willie Nelson in here? And why isn't Vivian McPeak in here? Why isn't Hempfest in here? And there was this whole history. There was this whole history of people that, put their lives and reputation on the line. After we did the Normal Life movie, which we shot down at the Berkeley Marina. Are you leaving? There you are.
Jack
Michael, how are you? Oh, you look good, man. Yeah. Look at you.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Don't forget
Sure
Jack Harris.
Don't forget Jack.
And then there's that.
Can't forget Jack.
I just got back from visiting Deborah Fuller, and I just got off the phone yesterday with Judy Clancy. So I'd spent all this time with Hunter Thompson, and they're just all of these people that have really collectively made this all possible. And yet I pick up, and I'm not hating on the National Geographic. I'm just saying maybe they need to do one that, instead of how science is unlocking the plant's medicinal secrets, which is all great, but there's just like,
well, there's the whole trip. There's the whole how do we get here? How do we even get to this point? Right? I mean, that's really what it's about. And a lot of this
really.
And it was interesting because when I was living in Amsterdam, it was like I got to watch the transition happen, which in '93 is when I opened up my company. And that was a big year. That was like the hemp year, like the year that everybody had read the book. They'd read Jack's book for like 5 years in a row. Maybe it was getting a little ratty, you know what I mean? And they finally decided to open their first fucking hemp shop. And so it seemed like Ecolution opened up with Stevie D. So Steve D'Angelo opened up we started. A whole bunch of companies started. Like 93 was a real kind of an interesting year. You know what I mean? It was like, felt like the energy was there. We thought by, and then 95, 96, all of a sudden 215 happened. And then it was on like, Donkey Kong at that point. But then that's kind of where the transition of the hemp and cannabis kind of what you thought would have happened would be hemp would be legal, then cannabis would become legal. But it was actually kind of the other way around, where cannabis got more legal than hemp even, you know what I mean? Like you couldn't even sell hemp food products in places because they were so scared that you were going to mess up their drug tests, or, you know what I mean? There was all this other bullshit going on around.
Even the name, they wouldn't even let the name in there. Hemp beer was like, no, it can't say hemp on the label.
Right. So hemp got super demonized really quickly, which is crazy because that should have been the one that would have been the vanilla grandma way to get it in there. You know what I mean? But it was the exact opposite, really.
Yeah.
Well, isn't it really when Gupta did the expose on Charlotte and Charlotte's Web, that it changed everyone's perception that cannabis doesn't have to be the evil devil's lettuce. They saw a side of it being communicated to them by a very reputable medical source at the time, and they went, "Oh my, what are we thinking? You cannot keep this medicine from her."
It's the same as 215. The reason it got pushed through with Perone and everybody was that they really put all the AIDS patients up front and center, and then it was like, all right, you know what I mean? Like, this is what are we gonna say? We're gonna arrest these guys, wheel them up in wheelchairs and kind of like,
we don't have handcuffs that will fit.
And, yeah, exactly. So
what's really wild is that it hasn't hardly changed at all, because when you get down to it, there's a floating ocean. There's a floating island of plastic in the ocean. It's well known. Everybody knows about it. And hemp plastic melts salt water, and yet they're up against an industry. The petroleum industry makes $4 billion a year in petroleum-made plastic. And here we are, and they're just suppressing it. We couldn't even hold a candle to a $4 billion industry. They aren't even letting them get their toe in the door.
Yeah. Well, now you're saying it. It's a whole follow the money bullshit. I took a friend to the Denver International Airport this week, and we're in the car 40 minutes. He says, "Why is the airport in Kansas?" And I'm like, exactly. And then I got to thinking about it, and we were talking. I would bet you $1 right now that if you looked back when Denver International Airport was being built, some podunk bullshit politician owned the land there and just used their political might to. It was like, you're like, what's 30 miles gonna do? Nobody's gonna care. And they found a reason. He said there was an owl in the place they wanted to put it beforehand, and then there was a lizard somewhere else, and there was a 27-point bighorn buck. They couldn't take its habitat away, so it's got to be on his land, and he becomes a billionaire. That's the bullshit we're dealing with right now. I agree 100%. The moment everyone saw Charlotte's story, I'm like, that's it. It's legal by next Thanksgiving. And, it hasn't, but maybe it will. But now we're still left with the fact that I heard a doctor say once, if CBD really works for you, how lucky you are. Most people need an entourage of cannabinoids and terpenes to achieve any medicinal value. But I think it's so wonderful that CBD helped a few, children, and because nobody wants to see kids suffer, but yet here we are. And now it's, how hard is it going to be to go back to the fiber area? It's like no one's planting it right now in the United States. There are no sources for it, right? You got to go outside, or it's expensive. We have to get back to the fiber part of it. I just wore Adam's parka,
Oh yeah, the parka
outside. today.
Yeah.
And I'm going, wow, you would never know this was hemp unless somebody told
Nope.
you, if you didn't know.
Nope.
And so we don't have that happening right now because economies all over the globe are tanking, and no one wants to put the energy in because they're only thinking about the next quarter and not the next 4 years.
And
If
the
they
big
thought
check.
about the next 4 years,
With textiles, it's because we
Wow.
outsourced everything to like India and everywhere else, and we just said, "Oh, fuck it, let them do it." And now we physically can't do it. You know what I mean? Like we just can't. We don't have-
Yeah, the hemp coats are the best. I have one. It's the 20 below zero tour. Must have on the 20 below zero tour. No, the hemp coat. It's soft and it's Willie proof. It's actually Willie proof. It survived about 10 years of tour.
I almost fucked it up. I kept it near a chainsaw, and luckily I had a cover on the chain, and all of a sudden I came out one morning and it's like hanging over it, but the cover kept it from ripping.
Thank God, man. That'd be
Hey, if I have to jump suddenly, I apologize, but I got to get one thing in here that's very important.
Yeah, for sure.
If you don't know anybody who's gone through this, then you're just hearing it. But I know a guy. His name's Art Allen, and he had 100 tumor startup points in his 109 points in his body. He had a tumor on his aorta. He had a tumor on his bladder. And the reason why he let it get so far is he just hated the doctor thing and waited until he felt so sick he finally had to go in there. He was inundated with cancer. And he started doing. Well, long story short, there was a laboratory bid that was happening in Texas at the time, and that 4 labs were going to be able to produce the actual RSO oil for kids with epilepsy because works so well that they just can't deny it. I have a nephew who just stutters so bad, smokes one joint and stutter goes away. So there's these cures that it's good for, but cancer. Think of the hell that people are going through today. And so he would take this little droplet of it was indica, was what he used because that makes you sleep, and it was I still have some, and just the littlest droplet of it. You want to take it when you go to bed at night because you're supposed to build up your dosage, and you'd really get lost in your own home. It's got that kind of power to it. But he completely when he was doing it at UT Southwestern in the hospital, he walked out because. The first chemotherapy a little drop went on his wrist, and he was like it burned him so bad it left a quarter-sized scar. And he says, "Is this what you're putting in my veins?" And he said, "Well, yes." And so he left his first chemo, and this his son-in-law had made one of these laboratories that was going up for bid, and they took all the business and took it out of Texas. But long story short, so he had this laboratory, $100,000 lab, where he could make really high-grade RSO oil. And his cancer was being monitored at UT Southwestern anyway. And they called him in when he's got that last time we went there. They said, the doctor doesn't even need you to be checked. He just wants you to go to his office and talk to him. He was the head of oncology, Dr. White. And he said, Mr. Allen, I don't know what you've done, really. I mean, you told me what you're doing, but whatever it is that you've done, I've never seen anything like this. He goes, you aren't in remission. You don't have cancer anymore. It's not anywhere in your body. And what the oil does is it sends a message throughout the system where all cells have a die-off, 120 days for red blood cells, blah, blah, blah. But it sends a message, the miracle of it is all normal natural cells ignore it, but all rogue cells self-destruct. It's called apoptosis. And what the fuck is going on here that people, they're suffering with cancer that they could, my wife's father died recently because he wouldn't even try it. And then when he got to the tail end where the chemo was killing him, he said, "Do you think I could do some of that?" But anybody out there that ever hears this, if you have a friend or a family member that's coming on to cancer, hopefully before they do chemo, you just do a droplet of this per night and the cancer will start going away very soon. And
the craziest one too, and the one that's really obvious is anybody with any kind of skin cancers, you really see how quickly, like within a couple weeks, it's completely, in remission and gone. Yeah. People are like, so it's because that's the problem with cancer is because you can't see it. Sometimes people don't, it's easier for them to treat it and not basically tell the people it's working, even if it's not working. Whereas if you're, using massive doses of RSO, it really does work. It's amazing.
Because there's money in
I'll do it.
treatment, not in cures,
Always, yeah.
right?
Right.
So pharmaceuticals make treatments, and they want to
Mhm.
sell you treatments. They don't care if they have a cure, even if they did. Why would they? Why would they give it out? How
Well,
much?
no,
you know?
and the other interesting thing too is the fact that the original RSO from Rick Simpson was made with naphtha, which is like fucking harsh, harsh solvent that's not medicinally like it's not what you would focus on for medicine, but it just shows you how even in the rawest form it works really no wonders. You know what I mean? So take it to the next level. Like if your friend has $100,000 lab, I'm sure he's not using naphtha. I'm sure he's
Oh,
using.
yeah. It smells good. It smells like the sweetest smell. And but you got to be careful with how much you take. But you build up. I'm doing it for preventative. I mean, if you have that in your system, cancer's not going to even stand up. It's when you wait too late. People should do it time before you go to.
That since the 10th grade.
Michael, how do people get a hold of the RSO you're talking about right now if they want?
They'd have to contact me, and I don't care. I'm wide open about it. My phone number is 214-560-8580. You got my. I mean, I'm rallying for this. If people need to, I mean, I'll shout it from the rooftops, and we've got an army of lawyers that will come to our defense if anything ever happens.
What's your Instagram? Because that's what most people are going to go by anyway.
I don't use it. I have it, but I don't use it. So I'm a baby boomer, man.
Gotcha.
Don't text me.
So you're on Facebook.
Pardon?
So then you're on Facebook.
Yes. Yeah.
What's your Facebook?
Michael P.
Michael what?
Michael P is in Patrick. That's why I put the initial names. Different. There's a lot of Michael Hennings, but and then there's hempstersthemovie.com. People can, and then my website is Sovereign Films, SOVRANFILMS, sovereignfilms.com. You write me there or any of those places, and I'll get you right to the source of that heals. 109 tumors. And now he smokes cigarettes again.
No, Vinnie,
cigarettes.
Don't listen,
Vinnie.
Don't listen, Vinnie.
I'm 3 months right now. I haven't had that.
He's older than me, and he doesn't have a gray beard, so it's a strange phenomenon. It's brought his hair color back.
Huh.
Vinnie hasn't
don't
shaved
tell
since
Vinnie
high
that
school.
too. Jesus.
I'm going.
He's like, I'll be smoking.
Placing an order right now.
Okay.
Vinnie's
Well,
kind
good
of
to
vain.
see you,
if you haven't
Michael.
figured it out.
Somebody who knows somebody, get in touch with me. I'll get it. Set up for
Well,
that.
you put your phone number out there, so I think you might get a call or two.
No, I gave Mark all the links to your
Mike.
pages and the movies and everything.
I'm just using because I can. I don't give a damn. Call me.
You can curse
So
worse.
is
than
that the guy
Dan.
next to you on the Sovereign Film page?
Yeah.
Nice. I sent that to Mark. Nice. It's in our
There you
chat.
go. Cool. Thanks for
Rod's the guy, baby. Rod Pitt, the man.
man, the myth, the legend.
I don't know about that, but good to see you, Michael. And there is something that I would like to share with you guys,
Sure.
if I may.
It's all yours.
There is a Ridley Scott film made circa 2015, and it's called The Counselor. And it is probably the only movie I've ever seen in my life that triggered me so badly I wanted to go out and throw up, because it reminded me of some things that I experienced before legalization. You could talk about Murder Mountain, and you could talk about this, and you can talk about that. But there was something that you all said about the money and greed. And we live in a dangerous world right now. And that's why I'm going to miss you, Michael, because you were talking against the plastics and the petroleum and the pharmaceuticals, and because the reality of the situation is certain people have, let's call them portfolios. And if you mess with their portfolio, not so much. Okay. Now, you can look and say whatever, and look and think whatever you want to about electric vehicles. And I guess on one level that they're all cool in the gang, but you got a little problem because those batteries, not so much for the environment. However, you look at something like hydrogen, and boy, oh boy,
Yeah.
the whole movie changes. But if you start messing with somebody's electric vehicles, or you start messing with somebody's petroleum, you're going to be in big trouble. The other thing is, being down at the beach and looking at a seagull that's got a plastic straw caught in it, or I'm in Thailand the other day and watching just all the plastic washing up on the beach, and everywhere I go there's plastic. And I thought, well, there are some people that can take plastic and turn it into things that aren't going to end up in the ocean, so we can kind of contain the plastic. That I'm not saying it would be easy or it wouldn't take time, but then when you do have something like hemp plastic to replace out the plastic, could we go to the petroleum guys and say, look, we're ready to make a deal. We're just going to transition you. Can we go to the battery guys and say, look, we're ready to make a deal. We're just going to transition you.
You could, Ron.
Yeah, you're the perfect guy, Pitman.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, the problem with a lot of those situations, though, is like I have a friend of mine who is into doing hemp oil. Right, that was his sort of focus. And his dad actually worked for. He was a high level guy at Chevron, so he had the inside. He kind of had the inside angle. He thought, oh, my dad's working for Chevron, and just like any other project, the closer he got to the goal, the farther the less interested they were, because they realized now you're actually getting, like, they gave him a number. They said $2.38 a gallon. If you can hit that number, well, let's talk. And at first it was like they were at 6 or 8 or 10 or something dumb. And so they just thought it was never going to happen. And within 2 years, he got it close enough to the point where they were like, oh shit, you actually could crack this code, and immediately dropped all funding for him, and he had nothing. You know what I mean? So it was kind of like, you do want to be careful when you get something that's revolutionary, because it probably sets you in the crosshairs for
also, it doesn't even matter if it's revolutionary. It could be train travel, and the petroleum industry will buy up all the rails, and it takes 27 days to get from New York to San Francisco on Amtrak or something stupid like that. I mean, come on, we travel all over Europe via rail, inexpensively and very time efficient. Okay, so it's the same bullshit.
Willie
You're
and I
going up
floated
against the
around on
petroleum.
Yeah, man, I
industry.
just rode the train Portland to
Till
Chicago.
to Palestine, Ohio, right? So
Yeah, I just rode the train Portland back home Chicago 2 months ago. It was $163. It took 2 days. It was great. It was beautiful leaving Portland. I ride the train all the time. You can haul the gear you want. I can bring my trumpet, drum sets, bass amps. They don't break the tube. They don't break any gear. I love the train. I ride the train all the time. And you're right. They should expand Amtrak everywhere.
it's the most pathetic. If you look at it on a map,
Yeah.
it's the most pathetic sort of like we have one thing that goes here, one that goes over there, and that's it. You're like, really? That's it? Like our whole country? Jesus Christ, we could.
Yeah, I live by Chicago, so I'm lucky. My favorite is I can go to New York City for $100 from here, and it's 13 hours, and I get dropped at Madison Square Garden, so it's perfect. I don't need to cab from the
Pennsylvania
airport.
Station.
Huh.
And you
Train,
can start
no,
busking,
train
you
to
can
New
start
York's
busking
the
the
best,
second
man.
you get off the train, right?
Yeah, no, you're right
Okay.
there at Madison Square Garden on the train, which is awesome. I mean, you know, it dumps you right into Manhattan, and so you pretty much, as far as playing gigs, it's perfect. No, the train's fantastic. But back to Rod's hemp movie. What happened to Rod? Rod is fantastic hemp movie.
Don't forget about Rod.
Yeah.
I want to still speak to what we can do.
Tell us.
Yeah.
When I left Texas to come back to the Bay Area, I'm fourth generation San Francisco. And when I got back here, they had heard because I was working for some guys down in Texas selling pot. And when I got to the Bay Area, there were some people that were selling pot. And so I bought some pot and I started selling pot.
Pot.
And
Did
I
you say
started,
pot? I think you said pot, right? We're just double
Yeah,
checking.
pot.
Okay.
It wasn't grass. You weren't
But-
selling grass though, right?
Thin pan.
I was selling.
Interesting.
Depending on the day, they called it all sorts of different things. But there was a guy named Indian Bob down, and he went to San Mateo. We were all down in San Mateo, and so Indian Bob knew a guy up in Woodside, La Honda area that was an ex Vietnam vet who owned a music store on 25th Avenue, and he had the good stuff, which I think they were calling it Acapulco Gold or some stuff, but I was selling truckloads of this stuff, and then some things changed, and it turned out that somehow myself and two partners got into somebody else's territory,
Okay.
and so they uh, one day I got a phone call. It's the weirdest thing because we were at a party in San Carlos, and we got attacked by some people, and we were in a car, and they pulled me out of the car and bashed me at my face on the hood ornament, and then they stabbed the passenger with a penknife, but they beat the guy in the back really badly. What they didn't know is that his brother was a member of the San Francisco chapter of the Hells Angels. But the long and the short of it is that I got a phone call one day, and they said your partner's just been found dead over in San Mateo. And then I got another, and I'm like, oh my God. And it was weird. And then I found out my other partner, who was Johnny Winter's road manager. I mean, who would remember Johnny Winter, right? But he was Johnny Winter's. Huh?
Oh yeah, for sure. Albino.
Yeah. Johnny was from Dallas or whatever. And so he was Johnny Winter's road manager, and they handcuffed him with barbed wire and put a 22 caliber around his ear. And so what I did is I packed a bag and I took a cab to SFO and I flew to Dallas. And I got a job doing boat bottoms there. I was in charge of Ross Perot's boat bottom, of all people. And then I got a phone call saying that they knew where I was. And so I ran to Canton, Texas, which is down the street from Gun Barrel. Canton was dry at the time. And so we used to would pick mushrooms in the morning out of the cow shit, and then would buck hay and go to Gun Barrel, to get beer and some tequila, and would eat the mushrooms we picked, and we had these these purple sage sunsets, and then would get up the next morning at 4:30, go back out. You'd only buck hay till about noon, then it became too hot. And then I got a phone call saying they located you in Canton. And three Texas friends of mine and I went and got on a plane and flew to Hawaii. And I ended up living on a beach there. And then we flew to the Big Island, and I started growing Pakalolo on the Hilo side. And we would, there was a coffee company on the other side of the island. And what we would do is, because they'd gotten onto the fact that the dogs were sniffing out the pot at the post office. So we made a deal with the coffee company, and they vacuum packed our coffee. And we sent that to LA. And so we grew Puna Bud and did all of that. But the reality of the situation is that if you mess with the wrong people, it's stupid. But what I'm thinking is that maybe there's an opportunity now to just cut some deals and morph some things. And if we can assure some people that the transition would benefit them, wouldn't it be something for our children and our grandchildren if we could somehow work some of this stuff out? Now I needed to go to London to work on some stuff, and I got a phone call a day or so ago saying, if you're an American, not so much in the UK or any EU country right now, not a good idea. And I thought to myself, this is terrible. Somehow, some way, and my father, the Presbyterian minister, he was a character. He dealt with everybody on the spectrum, every spectrum you could ever possibly imagine. He always said it was always great to meet new people and make new friends. And as a kid, I mean, I loved Hunter Thompson's book, Hell's Angel, and all that. And that was all exciting, and motorcycles and this and that, and the other thing. But the reality of it is that the Angels were a bit much, but they saved my life 3 times. And I'm thinking to myself, maybe I've got one more life left, and somehow we could figure out a way to work out a deal where we can handle this plastic stuff that's in the ocean, repurpose that the best we can, switch over to something like hemp plastic. And, wouldn't it be great if we could do something with hydrogen? And I guess I'm kind of using this as a platform, but the reality of the situation is it's my third act, and I'm kind of like Henning. Henning's not afraid to give out his phone number, get a hold. If you're looking for that medicine, get a hold of Henning. Now, will that medicine piss some people's portfolios off? Absolutely. But
I think we're at a different time period though now. Like back in the day, that hemp's always been a disruptor. It's a disrupting plant. It covers too many bases. It competes on too many levels. So it's always going to be like, fighting against the grain in a sense. But it also that's its strength and its weakness. You know what I mean? The weakness is the fact that it goes against all these big companies. It goes against pharma, oil, tobacco. It's like all the worst ones. Like you pretty. What's that?
The best thing is just to get the word out, because, like, I think rock and roll dismantled the Soviet Union more than any political things. They heard the freedom and they couldn't.
I agree.
Take it anymore. Once you know something, you can't take it away, and so we just have to spread the word to the new generation that they've all been stupid. Because look at the Native Americans. They were so abused. But the day is coming, and the day is now coming, where it's just like, look at what we did to them. Look what meaning our ancestors, did to them. I mean, it becomes now we can talk business.
It's everywhere. It's everywhere in the world, though. Like it's there was. Yes. All the indigenous people were all rounded up and all turned against, and all taking all their memories. They tried to take all their language. They tried to take all that from them. So it's interesting because, like, Australia, same thing. In Sweden, same thing. You know what I mean? It's like wow, this is the same fucking story over and over and over and over and over and over again. Like, so, I mean, but now we're at a point where there's not many places left that we could actually do this to, because we've already pretty much infected everywhere.
Those who win write the history books.
Yeah, I was going to say that earlier, and that's true. That's the truth.
It may never work, but you go down, buy it. I would rather do that than to say, what did you do during the great? What did Pat say? You won't have to say you shoveled shit in Louisiana. Joined into his army. You have to do something. I saw Julie Butterfly with a shirt that said "Do something." Just do it. Do something. I mean, you live and you die. You eat and you breathe and you shit and you grow old and you die. And what did you do? Oh, I just made sure that I wasn't going to get killed. I mean, you're going to die anyway. Man, get out there and be an activist.
For some perspective, how long was Julia Butterfly? I remember when I was in Oregon in 1992. I think she just went up the tree. Right?
2.5 years she was in that tree.
Yeah.
And regardless, she did something. If everybody would just do something. I think that's the key. Do something. And look at, there's a part of American history that's never been told. I just found this out the other day when I heard Ben Carson talking at a lectures thing, and he said that I checked into it. But George Washington was in the French Indian Wars, and the marksmen always hit their mark. They couldn't hit him with a bullet. And the letter that Washington wrote back to his family about how his jacket had bullet holes in it, and 2 of his horses died. He never got hit with a bullet ever. And so years later, he was at some kind of a convention, and the chief of that Indian tribe walked up and said, "The great George Washington, I was really wanting to meet you." He goes, "I want you to know something. Back in this," he named the battle that they were in. He goes, "My shooters never missed. They never missed. And for the life of them, they couldn't hit you." He goes, "I told my guys to put their weapons down and to stop trying to hit you." And he goes, "The Great Spirit is with that man." Well, I don't know. Maybe George Washington turned out to be something else, but he let his slaves go. But the point is that Alex and I talk about a lot. The Great Spirit is the answer. If you can tap into that divine part of the universe that's watching what we're doing and just say, "Give me something to do," or "Take me out," you'll find. I mean, I find myself protected in situations where I'm just starting to go, wow.
Did Washington give up his secret? Did he have his thing on a pole or something? What was he doing? He must have been. He had a trick, obviously, because there's something.
He just kept moving. No, but that's a true story. And the fact that Crazy Horse, the same thing with him. The marksman couldn't hit him, and somehow there's a way to get yourself tapped into something that's deeper than the fearful existence that we have. And keep humor in it. Keep the humor in there, and balance it all out, and do something.
Were you going to say to everyone listening right now, what you can do is hit that like and subscribe button. Tell your friends about the Adam Dunn Show, because at one point in time, believe it or not, guys, we had 1.3 million plays in a year period, until we did a collaboration with Cheech and Chong. And that episode literally digitally killed our show. So we can get back there, and when SoundCloud takes their foot off the scale. So hit that like and subscribe button and help us get back there. And there you go. And then you were part of the movement in a little way. And then you know what you can do? You can join Patreon. $4.20 a month. You get to see Adam's garden week after week after week. And that's not something that happens in real time in too many places.
Ooh,
and it really is something. So check us out. I have no idea how you even visit the Patreon page. Vinny, maybe you or Mark give that up.
Yeah.
But, are we doing Patreon tonight?
No, tonight we're not.
It's Snowmageddon out here, guys. I don't know if you heard that. It's like Adam's got, probably will have 2 feet by tomorrow. And it's still dumping here, but it wasn't.
Yeah, we're in Colorado.
Thank you very much.
It's snowing?
Michael, you've been trying to get off for half an hour now.
Yeah, we don't want to get you in trouble now, Mike. So
I gotta run.
All right.
No, nice to talk to you, man, for sure.
Thanks for sticking it out with us.
Thank you, guys. Appreciate it.
Everyone reach out to Michael P. Henning on Facebook, where all the old people
and go back on the show and you can get his number and give him a call.
Yeah, go back in time about 40 minutes.
No, the link to the web pages are on in the chat.
I'm ready to feel those calls. Okay, guys.
All right, man. Take care, Mike.
And Rod, give it to him. Cut.
Yes. We got a good one.
Pepper and burn.
Rap.
Burn.
Yeah.
Burn it. Yeah.
Burn it.
Thank you, Willie.
He checked out a little bit ago. I got him on my phone. I'll let him know.
All right.
But yeah, we got plenty of time. So you make anything else besides the hemp thing? What other films have you been putting together? I imagine.
And did you want to do a film about a podcast in Denver?
Yeah, about a guy who does a podcast.
Now, what to do in Denver when you're dead?
Yeah. There you go.
Oh, hey-oh.
Hey.
Come on, Vinny.
So there was the Hempsters thing, right? Oh, and the whole thing, this whole thing about me doing this, that, and the other thing, I couldn't get arrested in, well, my parents wanted me to be a doctor or a lawyer, and that freaked me out. And so friends said, come to Oregon, do an early stage startup company. And so I did that, and I got burnt out on that. And then a friend said, oh, come to LA and look at this movie thing. So I went down there and I did 2 5-year tours of duty in LA. But you see, I was living in Portland, and I thought, well, if Gus Van Sant could do it, maybe I could do it. Bottom line, I couldn't get arrested in LA or the Silicon Valley. And until the other day, I said, I was talking to somebody about the fact that the Silicon Valley had sex with LA, and then that's where the streaming and the this and that. And I said, I don't want to have anything to do with any of this. And of course, now my phone has not stopped ringing now that I told everybody I'm not in this business anymore. But we did the normal life thing. And, when we did normal life, we took CDs. So think this was, 2012 or whenever it was that and we walked them from representative and senators' offices door to door. And it was a big deal. And I'm proud of that. Around this same time, when 2015, 2016, when all of a sudden it was supposed to be Cool in the Gang, there was so many hoops and things to jump through to be able to get a license. So we wrote a book telling people how to go get through the process as quickly and as correctly as possible. And so, there was that. Now, Joe Hickey, Woody Harrelson's friend, he and I, when Woody's dad, I don't know if you all know Woody's dad's history, but he had a little problem.
He's he got a little record there, had a little issue.
Yeah, and so he was in Supermax, and Hickey comes out, and Hickey and I went over to Washington State across the river in Vancouver, whatever, and we got 2 hemp bales, and we put it in the trunk of my car. And we drove these hemp bales illegally down to the Oregon State House to give testimony to try and legalize hemp in the state of Oregon. I think it's called Hemp Testimony. You can Google it. It's, somewhere on one of my YouTube channels, probably 7th Screen or something like that. And Hickey did a really great job. And so there was that focus. I did a piece with a friend of mine. Elizabeth Buckner was the first person to take LSD with Jim Morrison, and so Jim was Jim Morrison, The Doors, was a film student at UCLA. His dad was instrumental in, if not the starting first round fired in the Vietnam War. But Jim obviously was on a different program, claimed that he was possessed by Native Americans, which I thought was intriguing. But he made 2 documentaries. One of them was featured on Oliver Stone's movie The Doors with Val Kilmer, and that's a recreation because he burned that one on Venice Beach. And then the second one was a 3-minute, 29-second or thereabout, black and white, no sound film that he shot with Elizabeth Buckner and Max Schwartz on the UCLA campus, and it's called First Love. And so that was the doc that went to Amsterdam. It was called Obscura. It was a short film. It played in Amsterdam twice. The theater there, they let people sit in the aisles, which, coming from America, I was like, oh my God, where are the fire marshals? And but it was well received.
Do you know what theater it was at?
I'd have to go back, but if you there is an interview in an Amsterdam newspaper interviewed me,
Mhm.
and it's all in what do y'all speak in Amsterdam?
Netherlands, Dutch. It was all Netherlands. 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 Yeah.
It was all in Dutch.
Yeah.
And
So they talk really
I was wearing a hat, and so there's online. There's a picture of there's the interview in Dutch, and a picture of me, and it probably mentions the theater in there, and it was for the what was it called, the Amsterdam International Film Festival, ADFI or whatever
Yeah,
it was
yeah,
called.
for sure.
Yeah,
Probably
but
Tuchinski's the big theater there. That's probably where it was at. They usually do it there. It's like a very old, very classic kind of, really beautiful spot.
yeah. So what happened is when I got back from Amsterdam, I took the outtakes and went out and picked up some more stuff and made a movie called Hyacinth, like the flower. And the reason I picked the name is it was a song on the Last Doors LA Woman album, and my favorite line is Morrison singing that he was trying to find a friend that didn't need him. And boy, how that resonates to me.
Did you ever? Since you're digging into the whole Jim Morrison world there,
yeah.
Did you ever look into his father and how his connection with MK Ultra and all that? Because I mean, it was definitely, there was something there, because there was something there. You know what I mean? It was like his dad was working in, because they were all based out of Laurel Canyon, I think, right? Wasn't that in the same time period? Like when that whole musical explosion kind of came out of Laurel Canyon, and there was a lot of overlay between government shit and give me the scoops. Correct. I know you know what's going on. Tell me what's really going on.
All right, so here's what I know. The long and the short of it is, I'm a little American Indian baby. My parents, my dad, he had mumps when he was a child, and so his sperm was no good. So in '57, you could buy these Indian babies. And so my parents bought me for a lot of money, $2,000. And then they couldn't get me a birth certificate, so they had to pay 2 judges to get a birth certificate. But my family on the maternal side are Pinkertons, and on the paternal side were Pitmans. And I don't know if you know what a Pinkerton is, but back in the day, we had a detective agency out of Chicago, and our main client was Wells Fargo Bank. So think the 1850s. So if you rob the bank, the stage, of the train, guess who's coming looking for you? So if you look at Butch Cassidy in the Sundance Kid movie, and they're running, they've got the Indian tracker, and then they've got the guy in the long jackets. Those are the Pinkertons. And then if you go to, 310 to Yuma with Russell Crowe. Yeah, there is they delve more into the Pinkertons there, and there's a Pinkerton that I think is talking to Crowe or some character, and he says, I'll try and do the imitation. He says, "We are paid by the North, but our sentiments are with the South." And I thought, oh my God, that's my family. And my father always told me that the family were muggers, thuggers, and thieves. But the long and the short of it is that they've always worked for the company. And subsequently, when you have a country that is a whole mix of people, you have all sorts of people within the different alphabet agencies that we have now and stuff like that. My favorite spy movie is Tinker Tailor Soldier Spy, I think is what it's called.
Love that one.
And I look at that and I'm just like, oh my God, this, the long and the short of it is as a little boy, I was 4, and I'm in a kitchen in New Orleans, Louisiana. My dad was the pastor of the Canal Street Presbyterian Church. And I'm in the kitchen one evening with Dad, and there's a bunch of guys in there, and some Cuban people, and people were talking, and they were talking about a guy wearing a sandwich board down the street toward the French border, that was handing out pro-Cuban or pro-something pamphlets, and that was Oswald. And then Dad knew Walt Garrison, and Dad knew Carlos Marcello, and it was odd after the assassination. We immediately moved to Dallas. The next thing I know, there's the Campeses. I don't know if you know the rest of the story, but and then another
Are you
guy.
about to tell us who killed Kennedy?
After all, it was you and me. Isn't that what the Stones said?
Yeah.
That is
But
true.
Touche.
the long and the short of it is that I mean, when I was a kid, I used to think that everybody with long hair was cool. I learned that lesson the hard way, and it wasn't just from narcotics officers, So there is this story, and it reflects on truth. And some people say the truth will set you free. Well, yeah, and sometimes permanently. But so I think what your question is yes.
Well, it was the CIA.
I know where a lot of the bodies are buried, and I keep asking. One time I was coming back in country with a girlfriend. Matter of fact, I was watching an old episode of y'all's, and it was like from 22, and the guy was talking about going through TSA with a woman, and they thought he was sex trafficking. I go through
It's Dave.
TSA.
Dave does that all the time. Dave can't help it.
Yeah, I go through TSA, and back in the day, what they used to do, they don't do this to me anymore, is they would separate me from whoever I was with, and they would interrogate them, never say a thing to me. And then I found out later why, and I didn't find out until after 2011, after the buildings got downed in New York. They had a no-fly list, and I said, I found out that I was on the always fly list, and I said, well, why am I on the always fly list? And they said, because they want to know who you're talking to. And it comes back to Dad, that would run around the world, trying to bring people together. And I mean, I had some real struggles with the fact that my father's friends used to throw people out of helicopters.
Oh, I know all about that.
Huh?
That was one of our co-producers.
And so it's this cognitive dissonance that I experience, and it comes back to the human condition. Yes, we've got a lot of monkeys on this planet, and basically the planet is going, gosh, if the monkeys were, playing with the program, you go and you talk to the AI. I have these friends that have access to the what do you call it? The quantum computing, and because we're also not being given the straight poop on where we're at with quantum computing. We're about 3 to 5 years beyond what they're claiming to be. But a year ago they were talking to the AI, and they said, so what do you think the life expectancy is for the humans? And the AI decided it was going to wax poetic, and it said, humans, for so long we've found them entertaining, and we try and keep them in little cages so they don't kill each other and stuff like that, and we give them little stuff here and there. But quite frankly, we're kind of, the bloom is off the rose in Portland, and we're thinking 90 years. These scientists were like, what? And of course they scraped all of that. I think if you ask the AI now, let's see, it's going to be another 500 million years or something. And it's like, okay, really? Well, anyway.
Once they released it, they realized how quickly it just became like super racist and very different. Like it was like, okay, it's just taking all of the little bits of information out there, and it's not a good thing. So we definitely are not a good idea to let it go loose at the moment. So Cyberdyne
exists, man. That's it. The Terminator. This is the beginning of it. 90 years. I don't know.
That's pretty good. That's 90 years. I'd be impressed with 90 more.
Well, 90 would be good because I think by 50 we might be able to make a change, but it would be so drastic that it will probably come by some type of war. Because it all comes down to a number of people on the planet, right? We have what, 9.5 billion, so that means there's 7 billion too many.
Correct. There's also I can yap about people's portfolios all day on Earth, but not to go to, wacko rod out there. I was watching
Wacko Rod.
Go, please.
We didn't know we
had
Wacko Rod.
I was watching the Event Horizon the other day. I don't know if y'all have seen the movie.
Sure.
Dave's seen every movie that's ever existed, pretty much.
I mean, in 1968, I'm in the theater on Market Street in downtown San Francisco. My uncle's sitting on my left. My dad is sitting to the right. We're sitting there watching this movie called 2001: A Space Odyssey. And Dave says, "Open the pod pay doors, Hal." Mm-hmm. And Hal says, "I'm afraid I can't do that, Dave." Well, that's what I've got going on now is I'm saying, and the response is, "I'm afraid I can't do it."
Open the garage. It's like, nope, sorry. We won't open the garage for you today. God damn.
So, it's what is so surreal about what is going on. And I also don't believe in coincidences, because those will get you killed. If you believe in coincidences, it's just like it is becoming. I want to say you said MK Ultra. You can talk about V2K. You can talk about the CBS thing that got scrubbed with the MIT utilizing Google for where they put the sensors on the guy, so he didn't have to say or type anything. He just thought it.
Yeah.
Well, you can also run that back in the opposite direction. I used an Aura ring for a little bit, and now it's sitting over there because I'm beginning to realize that the data that is going one way.
Well, they already figured out, like, for instance, the AirPods. 5 years ago, they figured out how to basically transmit shit to people that they could unconsciously hear or pull.
Are you talking about the way they used to do it on?
Or pull data the other way around. What's that?
Is it like subliminal advertising, like when they used to put that in TVs early on before the buy it?
Yes.
It would flash at a flicker rate that you couldn't see, but you did.
And the Havana syndrome. I'm just saying. Oh, and then there was when we had the situation in Vegas.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just saying, V2K.
Was I there?
Huh?
I wasn't there, was I? It was in Vegas. It wasn't.
I don't know.
No, the country. You're talking about the country. You're talking about the country thing with the bat.
Yeah. And so I've got the pictures, the data. I've got all this stuff. And you see, that's the other thing is, and I don't know whether I got this from
We're talking to
Hunter
Wacky Rod now. We're talking Wacky Rod.
Exactly.
Yeah, Wacky Rod. This
Or-
is the first show that we're going to have trouble uploading, and somehow it's going to be deleted on both ends and unrecoverable.
No, we're fine, bro.
You know what?
Wacky Rod
Tony?
did it again.
What happened? What happened with the Cheech and Chong thing? I didn't get that.
Dave, explain.
Our numbers. We weren't paying attention to our numbers at all. Okay,
As we do.
One day we were just talking, and we're like, I said to Mark, "How do we find out how our numbers are?" He says, "Well, you just go to this thing, SoundCloud, and log on." And I go to the SoundCloud and log on, and this was in, I want to say July of 22. We had 800,000 plays over the past year, and it said we were up like 23% from last month. And wow, so now we start watching it. And then we reach out to Cheech and Chong, start to talk to them about doing a collab. By the time we do the collab, we had grown to 1.3 million plays over the previous 12 months. We did it in November of 23. And
we streamed and what we did was we streamed our show through their new network that they did. And that just like red flagged us in some way, shape, or form, because our numbers tanked from that point on. We just went completely downhill. Like we didn't have any numbers. Like,
well, we had 280,000, but that's a million that we were gone. Almost over the next 6 months it went away, and it's been that way, But we figured that's why I made that little hit the like and subscribe button, because if at one point in time people listen to us, and they'll listen again without SoundCloud's foot on the scale.
Yeah,
we're always going against the grain. We're always
sorry that I came on today, guys.
Yeah,
why? No, we're kidding. It doesn't work like that anymore. We can't shadow ban us anymore.
Oh yeah.
What else can they do? Tell us we can't upload the show.
You got Wacky Rick on.
You never know,
man. One more quick story. I had these.
No need to be quick. I don't think we have anybody else after you.
Well, maybe we have a couple people might call in. We'll see. Yeah. But yeah, no problem.
Yeah. My parents wanted me to be a doctor, and I didn't want to be around people that were sick or hurt. And so they're like, well, there's only one thing you could do, which is be a lawyer. And I'm like, oh my God, what have I done? And so I read this book by Mel Belli. I don't know if you all are familiar with him, but he was the attorney that represented Jack Ruby. There's all these connections, right? But the long and the short of it is I end up going to law school, and I'm down working at a button-down law firm in Palo Alto, California called Wilson, Sonsini, Goodrich, and Rosati. And I had to wear a black suit, a dark suit, a white shirt, and a dark tie to work every day. I mean, these guys were like buttoned down. And the conference room doubled as a boardroom for the firm. And I come in one day, and I worked for Larry Sonsini, who is still my friend, thank God. I need all the friends I can get at this stage. And I was going to get him coffee or something, and there was a guy who was barefoot sitting in a lotus position on the boardroom table. And I thought to myself, I'll bet you he's somebody. And guess who it was?
Who was it?
Adam.
Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs. So now I ended up putting together some of the filings that needed to be done at the federal courthouse relative to the initial Apple IPO. And I'm going down to the courthouse doing various jobs, and I go in, and there is a guy, a little guy with these two giant marshals, and he's in all these manacles and stuff. And I walk up, and we're in the federal building, and one of these giant marshals says, "Would you like a cigarette, Mr. Barker?" And so he gives him the cigarette. And the other marshal says, "Would you like a light, Mr. Barker?" And he gives him the light. And I go, "Oh my God, Sonny." Because at 14 years old, the first day I got from Dallas to San Francisco, my father had rented an apartment in Laurelwood up at Hillsdale in 92 while they were looking to get ready to move the house up from Dallas and into the house they'd just bought. And he says, "Hey, I got to run down to the church, but there's a pizza parlor, a round table pizza parlor across the street. And I saw a bunch of motorcycles over there." I'm 14. And he says, "Oh, you should go check it out." And my dad was into motorcycles. He had two Indians in the barn. We had a sheep and apricot ranch down in Saratoga, Cupertino, Los Gatos. Wish I still had that. So I went across the street to go in to get a slice of pizza, and there's these choppers. And I'm like, wow, this is something else. I go to open the door to the round table pizza parlor, and there's a guy in front of me that's got somebody's ankles, and then the other guy has somebody's wrist. And right as I opened the door, I think they were on like a third swing because they threw the guy through the plate glass window of the pizza parlor. And then the guy that had the ankles was this little guy, and with these teeny tiny darkest sunglasses I've ever seen. And he turns and he puts his hands out and he says, "Hi, my name's Sonny. What's yours?" And I just about, I said, "I'm Rod." And then I got out of there as fast as possible. Like weeks
They call
later,
me Blind Rod.
Blind Rod.
Yeah,
Weeks,
exactly. Can't see nothing.
weeks later, I had down in Texas when I was a kid, you could get a hardship license, is what they called it. So if you worked out on a ranch, you could drive, and so I got mine. I want to say 14, and so I had a driver's license, and so I started driving Jerry Garcia's girlfriend, who I drove for 8 years.
Uh-oh.
And it was
Now
just
you're
this.
getting Dave.
There we
all-
go.
This is where Dave tells a Grateful Dead.
This is where Dave gets, "Oh, wait a minute. Where were you coming from?"
And then it just went on and on and on. If it wasn't the Dead and the Hells Angels, it was, at one point, Bill Graham was my babysitter. So we used to throw football. I called him that. Oh, and I own boomersitters.com, by the way, which if you go there, it will take you nowhere. But I own it. Boomer Sitters, ladies and gentlemen.
Sounds like your kind of thing, Dave.
Yeah, exactly. And so
They clean houses.
and then
You sure your mom didn't run into this guy, Adam?
Garcia's girlfriend says, I need you to drive me up to Winterland. They're having a Thanksgiving dinner. And so I drive her up there, and there's all these film trailers and stuff, and there's a camera car, and they're shooting, and there was an audio trailer outside too. And I'm like, "What the fuck? Oh yeah, they're shooting a movie." So we went inside because we had whatever it's called, line privileges or something. And Martin Scorsese is telling people where to put the camera. And so I followed them around, and that's when I met Bob Dylan. Was at that show. And so there's just been all this fucking bullshit that just doesn't seem to want to stop. And why did I tell you this? Because why? Yeah,
It was a hell of a story.
the whole thing, it boils down to, I ended up inadvertently, unknowingly, and I'm telling you the truth, working
Oh,
for
that's a bad sign when someone says that. I get nervous. Once they start telling me, "No, I'm telling you the truth," you're like, "Oh shit." Uh-oh.
Your Honor, I'm being truthful.
There was this man that I was working for, and he was connected to some people that the people thought that Carlos Marcello ran Texas. He did. I mean, they thought the Campeses ran Texas. No, Marcello did. So if you go and to like the Egyptian Lounge website or the Campeses website for the restaurant in Dallas, you go to their history, and it talks about the fact that Mr. and Mrs. Campese were the only people, other than law enforcement and Belli, that were allowed to talk to Ruby, which is also where the band played. They played at Ruby's Club. My two of my girlfriends, one of them was Ruby's bookkeeper and part-time bartenderess, and the other one's dad was Ruby's doorman. And then we've got Woody's dad down there. And so there's all this. So I get this call and from this guy, and he says, oh, and then there's Frank. I won't bore you with the Frank details, but Frank
Zappa.
Well, and then there's him.
Don't forget about Frank Zappa.
But the thing with
well, his dad was CIA too, though. Frank Zappa's dad was also CIA. So there's another
yes,
connection.
Yes, and then there's that, and then I don't know where's Stephen. Mr. Stills, I don't know where you fit into the movie and everybody else, but the other thing is that I ended up going to I put an ad in the Wall Street Journal because I was an assistant to a guy that was starting a freight forwarding firm, Yamato Transport, who wanted to take out all the other freight forwarding firms. And I was finishing my deal with that, and I worked with Jorma Konin's. It was post hoc tuna. He was in between something, and but anyway, he had this band. I worked with his drummer at Yamato Transport, and then I put an ad in the Wall Street Journal because I wanted to move on as to be an assistant to a CEO or the president of a company, and I got this call. And the guy said, this was like on a Thursday, and he said, tomorrow, fly to LA. There'll be a car to pick you up, and let's have lunch at the Beverly Hilton or something. And I said, okay. And so I flew down, and this guy interviewed me. And when we finished the interview, he took me up to the penthouse. He had control of the whole top of the building to introduce me to his wife. And I only spoke to her for 2 minutes. Then he said, the car is waiting and it'll take you back to the airport. And I flew back to San Francisco. I was only gone for hours. And the phone rang, and he said, you're hired. Be in Phoenix at 8 a.m. on Monday. That's when you start. This was Friday.
A lot of time in the Bay Area, as you.
Well, and what was it? You still didn't know what you were even supposed to be doing, or what was the
right? And so what happened was I threw a bunch of shit in the car. I drove to Phoenix, went to the office, and he said, "Yeah, today's your first day. Come in here. I want to show you something." And so I went, and he had a desk, and I sat in the chair in front of him, and he had a touch tone phone. So he went beep, 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 and he put it on speakerphone. And this elderly lady, I was 25, she sounded elderly to me, like somebody's grandma, if not great grandma. Hello. And he goes, yeah, this is Tony Nicolai. And the woman goes, Mr. Oh my God. And she's like, and Mr. Nicolai said, is Frank around? And she said, oh yeah, he's right here. Hold on a second. Well, it's hard not to recognize the voice. And Mr. Nikolai said, "Hey, Frank, I know your kid's going to school over here at ASU, and I'm on the board of directors of the Arizona Ballet, and we're having a benefit for the ballet, and I need you to come sing." And oh, I'd love to, Frank. I mean, Mr. Nikolai, let me check my schedule. And Mr. Nikolai said, "Oh no, you don't need to do that. I've already got the dates for you. I'm just calling you to tell you when to show up." "Oh yeah, and I'll have to make some changes." And it's like, "Oh, don't worry about it." He hung up, and I looked at him and I said to myself, "Mr. Nikolai, it's harder. It's easier to get the president of the United States on the phone than Frank Sinatra." And he just laughed and he said, "There is a phone bank next door full of ballerinas. So go in there, and there's a guy in there that will help you put the whole thing together. So you're in charge of producing this concert that Sinatra's going to put on at ASU." So we got a boxing ring. We poured a bunch of dark purple lights onto it, put 2 bar stools out, one for him to sit on, one with a bottle of whiskey and a tumbler. And he sang until he was drunk. I got a thank you letter from Frank, but the guy that was running the ballerina phone thing was a guy named Paul Tatum from Oklahoma. And you can Google Paul, because Paul and I became business partners. But Paul had an unusual event because we got one of our businesses terminated in a turnstile in Moscow, which included Paul. And so there's just all of this stuff. And, it's kind of like Henning giving his phone number out and the, people saying that they're ready to talk now about the Kennedys and the this and the that and the other thing. Well, there was the people, the CIA basically utilized the psychedelic ballrooms to further some of their LSD experiments. There was a guy that was thrown out of the window in the 40s in New York that was connected to the whole LSD.
I think there was a trend. I think that was a big trend back in the day. They'll throw the guy out the window. That was a much more normal thing. Normal
way to kill someone.
Yeah, much more normal. There's no cameras. You know what I mean? Just like whoops.
I've heard it's going to make a comeback. Yeah, so I try and stay grounded as much as possible, and anyway. So I end up going when the guy, there were 5 guys. The one that had the highest level of education was 6th grade, and the other 4, and I'm not hating on 3rd graders, I'm thinking about 3rd grade education. And of these 5 guys, they were all multi-millionaires.
And did they want to invest in a podcast?
Well, they're all dead now.
Damn it! We missed our mark again.
When they said they wanted to meet me on a street corner, and I thought that was strange.
It never
and
nothing to worry about here.
I was scared when I get to the street corner. There they are, and they're all like 6'3", 6'4", 330, chain smoking cigarettes, couple smoking cigars. So I walk over to the street corner, and they do a circle around me. And the one that did the talking was the one with the 6th grade education, and he went around and he looked at all of them. He looked at me. He looked at them. They nodded, and he said, "We want to tell you something." And I was scared to death. And he leaned into me, and he said, Life is stranger than shit. He leaned back. He went around the circle. Each one of the guys nodded. They all did 180s, walked in separate directions. I'm pretty sure that my car smelled like poo until I could get it to the next day, till I could get it to the car wash, because but when I got home after that happened, I thought to myself, I think that they are onto something there. So the whole point, the wrap up of the Wacko Ron thing is
Wacko Ron roundup.
And in conclusion,
life is stranger than shit. All right, guys. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man.
You're welcome anytime.
I get
the ramblings of crazy rods.
Wacky.
Rambling Rod.
Rambling Rod. There you go. That's a good one.
You get a phone call from Waldman. How do you guys know him?
So I met Willie
Jail.
through Perkins, Jane's Addiction.
Oh, Perkins. Yeah.
And I rolled some. So in Amsterdam we had my friend had a boat, and we cruised the canals, and so we took all the guys from Jane's Addiction out, and Willie on the boat. And Willie was playing with Snoop at the time, and we had rolled these like ounce joints, and we're smoking them on the boat. And he was just like, "Snoop's got to talk to Snoop." And so he went and talked to Snoop and linked us all up. And
just a disclaimer: I never met Willie in jail. Neither of us have been in jail.
No, Willie's never been to jail.
Neither have I. I
Willie somehow managed to not go to jail, I think, but Willie's such a character that over the years though we've managed to have him play at almost any event that we can make him play at, because it's always an adventure, that for sure.
You never have to make him play. He always volunteers to play. He's
a one man. He's a one man wrecking crew for sure. That's a guarantee. There's no doubt about that. A force of nature. Willie.
Well, I hope I haven't ruined your numbers, and it's been a pleasure meeting you.
Oh no,
it's always great to meet new people.
It's only up from here. It's only up from here. That's the way we look at it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Anytime you feel coming through, come on through, and if you're in Denver sometime, come to the studio.
I'll do that.
Do you eat barbecue? Do you like good barbecue?
Pardon?
Do you like good barbecue, being from Texas?
Are you kidding me? Yeah. And Snoop's uncle,
Junebug. Yeah, Junebug used to cook. What was funny was in Amsterdam, I would go to the hotel. I'd be dropping weed off to Snoop, and he'd have a barbecue in the hotel room going, with Junebug be there cooking it up. I'd be like, you guys are out of your minds, fried chicken everywhere they go, 24/7, nobody's business. Yeah, Junebug is cool.
Great to meet you guys. Thank you for being.
Take care.
I'll talk to you back of the beyond.
All right. Peace out.
Aloha.
I think we got James Bean, man on the scene, coming through any second.
I think
I was trying to give Vinnie a segue into saying.
It'll happen. Willie and I are on it. We're good.
What's going on? You're segueing to Willie now all of a sudden?
We just flew into a So High Cafe.
So High Cafe. Don't you worry. Don't you worry. We'll be doing lots of So Highing on this show. But yeah, James Bean, man on the scene, just
where'd Duke go?
He was enjoying the show. He said, "I said, come on in anytime." He's like, "No, dude, I'm loving this." So we had one big fan out there for Ramblin' Rod.
Mark, you're such a jackass.
What's Mark doing?
I love it. He keeps putting up my fucking poker photo.
I don't see nothing.
I don't see nothing either.
I don't know what you're talking about.
I don't see nothing out of the ordinary.
Yeah, nothing.
No, I don't see that.
It's a bagel.
You know what? You want to know? Attaboy, Mark. I was having a conversation the other day. We were exchanging Instagram.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Oh my gosh, do you know you're the Cannabis Sex Experience?" And I'm like, "Oh my gosh."
Who said this?
A friend of mine. I'm like, Did Mark put you up to that? She's like, Mark who? I'm like, fuck.
Out there. It's out there. People are figuring it out.
Right.
It's out there. You can't control it no more.
See?
Yeah.
Looking for lanes,
You
dog.
never look at it the same way. It's like those 3D images. Once you can see them, you can always see them with deep sight.
Yeah. No, I don't see anything but the word sex experience in there. That's all I see.
Yeah.
It's just a big sex experience in your face.
That's right.
Hey.
I think.
Hey, I'll give you a sex
James
experience.
Bean, where are you?
You know what I think? I think Rod
An
just
old man trying to send back soup in a deli.
up and just left and didn't lock out of Zoom.
Rod's just hanging out with us.
You can end his call, can't you?
James Bean's on mute. Duke's there.
Duke's here?
Duke's there.
Yeah.
Oh shit! What's going on? You saw the T-shirt, right? You saw Dave wearing your T-shirt. You're like, oh shit!
Yeah, you can hear me all right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Who are you? What's the code word? There are a lot of people that have been impersonating Duke Diamond lately.
Yeah, we've had a few Duke impersonators coming through pretending.
We gave the real Duke a code word. What's the code word before we know it's you?
420.
No. What's the beer he watched made years ago when he was dealing with some shit behind bars? What was it called?
Chicken beer, bro.
Chicken beer, baby. Chicken beer. Chicken beer.
That's
Chicken beer from the Dragon Man himself. St.
Tell that bitch about my fucking chicken beer and my fucking rat. That bitch thinks I'm crazy.
We're gonna go from Ramblin' Rod over to fucking right over to Duke Diamond. This is gonna be a show. This is gonna be an epic show right here.
And we got neither of them in the card.
I know.
Yeah,
I'm sitting back eating popcorn.
Oh, what up, James? What you doing, bud?
I heard chicken beer now. It's fucking all over it, right?
Yeah.
Fucking gotta get some.
Oh, by the way, Duke, we have to change the code word now, so I'll send you another one.
Okay.
New code.
Yeah, man. If I could break out the one-time pads and shit, start getting into some different.
So you sound like you're feeling better now, Duke. The last time we talked, you were sick. So.
Oh yeah. I don't even remember it, but
that's usually what happens. That's what happens. Delirium.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I'm doing good. Fucking snowed in, loving it.
You're also snowed in. Same deal.
Yeah. It's like about 3 feet.
I know, it's crazy, right? We were at like 18 inches. Like
what?
We're about 2 feet here, 2.5 feet maybe. Yeah, same deal. It's still coming down till tomorrow. It's been snowing since Tuesday. So
that's awesome. I'm a little jealous. I do miss the snow.
Yeah, you're jealous. You're fucking Mexico.
You're in Mexico, all jealous. Cancun, being jealous.
I'm jealous. I want to shovel snow, but wait, let me go to the beach first.
Yeah.
Snow is awesome.
Have you found a good source for good weed in Mexico yet?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
The brick.
Oh no! I remember. I had to pay fucking $400 last week.
Oh, you're doing chocolate. Weren't you smoking chocolate last time we talked? Wasn't that?
I have chocolate. I haven't smoked it yet.
Okay.
It wasn't great. So I went and got some different.
Damn.
But yeah, still working on it.
Is that what they call the brown frown down there? They say, yeah, it's a chocolate.
Yeah. Well, one time it was pistachio, lemon something, and something else. And it was all the same thing. I was like,
yeah.
Right
up. Yeah, lemon and pistachio, they really have a lot in common.
Yeah, same thing.
Mm-hmm.
They don't even work well in ice cream.
Yeah, man. Mm-hmm.
What you got going on, Duke?
I just lost internet connection. Yeah, I got like about 3 feet snow outside.
We didn't call you Duke Diamond, the weather forecaster. We want to hear about what drops you have coming soon. How you're going to make James Bean.
What strange you got going?
Yeah, Uncut Bush wants to know what you're growing right now.
What gear?
Well, as far as dreams, it won't be blue dreams. And I don't know, man. We'll have to see.
Okay.
The when and the what and the where.
Got it.
Damn, secret.
Okay. Yeah, that's fine.
All right. Well, then what do you think of James Bean's backdrop?
Let me look at it.
Which one? Which one?
Well,
Which one?
you know, I heard, I just got a
I got my
text.
dogs fighting a bear.
Oh, wow. Dude, did you Photoshop that from the Revenant movie?
No, I've been training my dogs. Dogs gotta watch my
This is
crops,
the one
right?
that I like. I like that one there. That looks like a Duke Diamond style right there.
Yeah, that looks like that's like a Canadian scrog of like M39 in progress right there.
Little bit, but you gotta protect it nonetheless, right? You don't want somebody coming and stealing your shit. So you gotta
Well, wait a
employ the
sec.
local
That'd be
crop.
Swamp Boys. That'd be a Swamp Boy thing right there. Wouldn't that be a Swamp Boy collab?
Yeah, when I'm here at IBK, like trees, man, so big.
Pretty sweet.
No, it's not AI at all.
No, there's no way. There's no AI in the world at all. Nothing he does.
By the way, James,
Yes, sir.
fucking love the script you've been sending Mark for your ads. It is so
I
amazing.
rank them by hand every
The
week.
fluidity at which
Yeah.
he doesn't read them, that he knows them by heart, because in no way, shape, or form does
Wow.
he ever come across as anyone reading script. He absolutely, it's just genius. How you get him to work on it
Blows.
for hours before the show, so you can just have the cadence down. It's brilliant. Really, keep it
Flows
up.
naturally.
That's right.
You know what, though?
Hey.
As I see your AI things, I'm wondering, anybody here watching Tulsa King notice that the scenes where they have plants growing, it's just such a terrible representation of cannabis. Like, they should be hiring us as film consultants.
They're probably, the thing is, they're using the same bogus plastic bullshit plants that they probably use in all their movies because they can't use real plants because it just doesn't, they can't, there's
But
no
they-
continuity. They got to be able to shoot it, then walk away from it, come back the next day, all the plants look the same, shot looks the same. Can't be like, oh, it's all drooping today, and now we need a plant maintenance guy
I'm
here.
not saying it has to be real plants. I'm just saying everybody go take a look at this in Tulsa King. They're the worst movie, TV show plants ever. Anyway,
But usually, a lot of times they use those fucking those Japanese maple plant things because they figure that is close enough. You know what I mean? They're like, just get one of those plastic things.
Well,
There you go.
China makes pot plants now. I was going to buy a bunch of them to sell at the Cowboy Cup, but yeah, they make like a 2 or 3, 4 foot plant.
Nice.
Hey, are y'all going to MJ BizCon?
JizCon, they're going. I don't go to JizCon.
yes.
Yeah, Dave's
booked the flight yet,
organizing
but
so that
yes.
we're gonna have this huge outdoor space.
I'm not
Dave's organizing it. It's gonna be perfect, lined up.
You're so
You
bull-
drilled
Fuck
down
you.
so hard. You drilled down so hard during the show that you have no excuse for not following up on that and making it real.
on the
So-
Adam Dunn Show Smoking Lounge.
Yes, go
MJ
make it real.
BizCon.
All you have to do is tell them, look, all we need
I
is
told you we're just making a banner and bringing it and putting it up and saying
no. We need a parking. I want a parking space. I want the whole.
I'm getting a
Ah.
I want a parking area.
The
I want to have
talent
a.
wants a
Come on,
parking
let's
area.
get my fucking riders loaded up, please.
Yep, we're on it.
Fuck yeah.
Like to party.
No, but I think we're definitely all going. They're selling seeds this year, dude. They got like a whole section called the Vault where they're having like all the breeders and seed guys are going to be in there. So we got to go. We got to go crash that area.
Yeah, you gotta go up in there while they're already losing money on the booth.
Yeah,
Well, yeah, no, that's the thing is
Go
we're
ahead
Go hang out with
Saturday
Royal
enough to
Queen.
do
You
that.
guys can go
We're
out-
doing
hang out with
Transformers style.
Barneys and
We're going to do Transformer style where everybody has a piece of the booth. You know what I mean? And we just kind of walk around until we see the right thing, and then we're like, form of a booth. Boom! Everybody pulls their piece out, and we've got ourselves a booth. I got the back, you got the table, you got the leg. Boom! We're good to go.
Fuck yeah, dude.
instant pop up. Instant no pay pop up.
Yeah, just be like, what the fuck? I didn't think there was a booth here. I was like, yeah, dude, we've been here the whole time. What are you talking about? You know the story. You know how it works. Just don't tell them, even though they can watch the show and find out. But no,
They don't watch the show. Come on.
They
now.
don't watch the show. That's how we know.
No,
We can tell anything we want here. No one will ever know.
It's a safe zone.
that's
It's a
not
safe area.
true.
This is a
That's
complete
not
safe
true.
space for all
Safe space.
crazy ideas. Yes. This
Those
is it.
ideas and haters. This is safe for you.
Well, that all sounds thrilling.
How's your Discord channel going there, Duke?
Awesome as always.
Massive.
Man.
9:00 tonight. We're going live again tonight.
know it. Hold up.
What?
Everyone's calling him now. Now that
Duke's,
he's on the
Disco.
show.
Odie wants to join. Is that what I just saw?
Odie Diesel, the legend.
Odie Diesel.
Of course he can. Hold on, I need to get
open to the public.
This is great. Maybe we will find a way for Odie to contribute to the show by calling in instead of being in studio and sitting with us right next to us with a microphone.
He's so
saying
lucky.
7 words in the course of 3 hours.
Well, that's what he does, but there's 7 good words, right?
But no,
Well
I bet you he's very talkative right now.
I like great. Hey, Vinny, great message. Should we Odie join also? It's very good.
Wow.
Should we Odie join also?
And you want to be our latex salesman?
It's like Yoda just requested a. It's like Yoda just talked to me.
Wait a minute. Katie's daughter is joining.
Who?
Katie's daughter. It looks like Katie's younger sister or Katie's daughter was joining. Younger sister.
Hi.
Where's she at?
What's
I
that,
heard
beautiful?
Duke was on, so I thought
Oh,
I'd
that's
join
right.
games too, and I
Now
was
they
like, okay,
want-
that's my cue to enter. I'll come in. The cool kids are here to play now.
And James B.
Damn.
James B.
No offense, Rod
I'm
and
just
Michael. You
kidding.
guys were great.
They were.
Don't
Ramblin' Rod was wonderful. Everybody was
Rod.
really great. They were great stories. I'm a rambler myself.
You don't say.
Yeah, I just heard you guys talking about your background, James. That's spectacular.
Training my dogs. Training my dogs.
How many dogs you got now, James?
It depends on which pack we're talking about. I got a pack.
Oh,
down
damn.
in, I got a pack that is garden. The fields down in Australia, down with Jordy.
Nice.
Yeah. So they're training with the kangaroos.
Nice.
Odie, I
Learn
didn't
how to
see
keep
you
they got
on
that
here
hop
too.
going or
Hi.
what? Hi.
See, you already said more than 7 words. Dave just didn't like you.
Dave, whatever, man. You know, I
Wait.
say more than 7 words every now and again.
Oh, there he is, baby.
Oh shit.
Wait, Dave,
Hey,
whatever. I say more than
words.
7 words
Wow.
now and then. That
You
was
said
11.
10 words. That's
You did
11
it.
words. 11 words.
That's 11.
He's still out of the allotment from last month.
Yeah. So how's everybody doing? Snow in Colorado, huh?
Yes,
Oh
sir.
yeah.
It's dumping down.
sucks.
It's how's
Everybody
the
got
weather
their
out there?
shovels?
Are you still up in? Where are you at, Odie?
Washington.
That's what I thought. I just didn't know if you were saying it on here.
Yeah.
How's the
Yeah.
weather out there?
I didn't know whether you were saying
It's cold, but it's clear and sunny every day.
Okay,
A little drizzly now and then. Sounds like
as long as I can get the sunshine.
I told him that before he went there. I was like, dude, it's gonna be cold and windy. Hot in summer, cold and windy in the winter.
And James, you're
Yeah.
actually in Cancun, right?
I'm in Cozumel.
Oh, I want to go there. I heard it's beautiful.
They say that.
Well, not where James lives, but
They say
close
that.
there.
James is a little closer to old San Juan Tenaya. You know what I'm saying?
I still want to go there too.
Yeah. Waiting on Red out there buffing a boat.
Oh shit.
Fucking around in the sand on the shipwreck.
Wait for my buddy Duke. He says he's gonna be here one of these days. God damn it! He told
Dude,
me.
keep the chessboard ready.
I was getting ready to say, sounds like Tommy.
Yep.
Yeah, what up, Odie?
Not much. How you doing, Tommy? I got Tim here
Ah.
with me too.
What
up,
up,
dude?
howdy. Yeah, man. Yeah, just chilling, man. Just living the dream, being snowed in, fucking typical bullshit.
Who's got bullet holes in the ceiling? Who's that? Who's got the bullet holes in the ceiling? Oh, it's Odie.
That's,
Odie, what are you
it's
doing?
the dream
What are you doing over there? Some rounds or something? What's going on?
Living the dream, Odie.
Oh, shit, what did I do?
Hey!
So what do you,
There.
no discharging of the weapons, please, inside the buildings. Thank you very much.
Right. It's kind of nice.
Unless your name's on the lease.
But either way,
That's the AC of the place, or what? It got hot in the summer. You're just like, fuck it.
Particle board.
show that we're on the outside of the tiny house right now. See, we're actually outside of the tiny house right at the
I
moment.
hate you, Mark. I fucking hate
But,
you, Mark.
Either way, there's a group of us in here, so we're just smoking and enjoying and bullshitting.
Hello to all of you. Thanks for coming to kick it.
Well, hi, Katie. How are you?
I'm wonderful. I'm really exhausted. We had a big harvest yesterday. Was it yesterday, Adam? I'm losing track of my days.
Yes, it was.
So, I'm exhausted. Otherwise, I'm wonderful. I'm enjoying this weather. I love all the snow we're getting. You're still here in Colorado, right?
Oh yeah, down south. Got like
That's what
3
I
foot.
thought.
Yeah, it's real pretty.
I probably got just under 3 feet, and it's still dumping.
Oh yeah,
Did you
it's
get a
so
lot?
going.
Did you get a lot up by you, Dave?
Not 3 feet. I haven't looked outside since we started the show. It was coming
It's
down
been
okay.
over the last couple days. It wasn't just today. I had quite the
Oh,
week.
that's a great shot, Odie. It's just the cloud of smoke above your head. That's genius.
Perfect.
There you go.
I love it.
Absolutely
It
genius.
was Dave making friends again. Fuck.
No, what I love Odie. If this were like what was the old political cartoon where he used to represent like Clinton was a waffle iron, Gary Trudeau.
Whoa.
It would be Odie would be that joint.
You're really high, Dave. That made no sense at all,
God damn,
dude.
Dave.
Yeah, I'm using this, the Zob that they
Oh,
sent
cool.
us from.
Oh, that's that giant one. I didn't get to see that in person. I actually cleaned my bowl. I'm so proud of myself. I cleaned my bowl and my Dab X. Adam's always making fun of me for having a toilet bowl, and it's
There you
actually
go.
clean.
There you go.
I'm so proud of myself.
I was going to say, did you clean it because someone noticed it, or because you wanted
I'm
to
out of
clean
business.
it, and you went and answered that right away?
I
Adam
mean-
embarrassed you.
I'm old school, so I guess I shouldn't even say I'm old school like that. I just am like not huge on cleaning my bowl. Since I was
See,
a kid, I've always just let shit get caked in, and then when I didn't have weed, I know.
Yeah.
However, when I was a kid and I didn't have weed, I would scrape my bowl and I would fucking dry out all my
I just
resin
sent,
and I would re-smoke it. It was like that. Those were the times.
Those were the days.
Mark, pull up.
Original
Who's pulling up the photos? Mark or Vinnie? Who does that?
I don't know.
Who's
I gotta
doing
figure
it?
it out.
Oh, okay. I only sent them to you. Let me send them to
No,
Mark.
I know. I already did. No, I already sent
Did
them.
you?
It's a
I sent
toss up.
them.
We'll figure it out
Pull up
between
some
the
of
two
those.
us.
Pull up some of those grow video things
All right.
from Katie. Well, she wasn't there today, but this is some shots
No,
from it.
I had the guys. They did a great job, though, right?
They pulled it off. Yeah, I didn't send all of them. I just sent a few select. So, but pull them up, Mark.
I have them up right
We
now.
harvested just a little over.
Hold
200
on a
plants.
second. Wait. We don't want to be giving any sensitive data away here.
Just over 200 plants.
Yeah.
Some of those divorce. What is that? Divorce cake or divorce?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, those girls. They were the hardest to
could use
harvest.
some
They
of
were
that
some
right
leggy
now.
ladies.
I'd like some of that right now.
That jet fuel gelato looked really beautiful too.
That's what this is.
That I don't think that. So that's in the. I'm not quite sure what that is. That's the bedroom.
I can.
It's jet fuel. What do we have? So we've got Tropicana bananas. We've got some of that mac. We've got
Mac and cheese. Mac and cheese.
Tropicana bananas.
Tropicana banana. You got to say it like what's
That
your
Boba Fett.
and what's your name? The nanny. You have to say it like the nanny.
Banana.
Tropicana banana. Tropicana. Yeah, say it like
Tropicana banana.
There you go. There you go.
Oh, look at you, James.
Okay, that was.
Attaboy, buddy. Attaboy. Look, you wanted to get back on camera.
Oh, I love it.
Look at you. Attaboy.
Okay, so that's where I spent the majority of my time because it was I was getting so hot in the harvest room.
Yeah.
So I spent a lot of my time in the dry room.
All these pictures that I'm doing. I'm trying to figure out why it's.
I'm not. Odie's fucking talking.
Oh, there's her room. There's her room right there.
Yeah,
James, are we gonna play?
I was
a
just
game
talking
anymore?
about how I was avoiding being. It's so hot.
Whatever
Even though
happened
it's-
to? Whatever happened to we were gonna do a game show with James once a month?
I
We
know.
got Duke here.
I
This would
agree.
be perfect.
No.
Duke and Odie on here. It would be great. It would be like Stump
Yeah.
the savants.
Yeah, I'm not a savant.
Oh yes, you are.
Totally let Adam out.
You should have been prepared for this.
Oh, I
Come
like
on,
that.
James.
Exactly.
Don't wait
You know,
for it.
good
Go.
With the old and with
good
the new.
interviewer sends out a list of what you're going to talk about before the show. You know, that way you
here's
kind
the
of
world
you
that
are
way.
Are you
prepared.
kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me right now?
Wow.
Just send out a list of what?
Holy
now?
shit.
You used to come into the studio and sit there and watch
You
us.
know
debacle.
exactly how this shit show runs.
You know
Are
how
you kidding me?
Nobody's right.
Every week.
Yeah, you
Every
can't have
week it's a done deal.
Here's
We're
there you
the
go.
show that had Duke talk about chicken beer. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? The
Yeah,
grossest,
That was a
most
funny show.
vile substance ever created.
No,
that would
one
have
of the
been on
funniest
that would have
shows.
been on the beginning of the show. You would have looked on the list. You'd been like, oh, and then Duke's going to talk about chicken beer. That'll go on for 22 minutes, and then
Ratings would have went through the fucking roof.
They
for sure,
did.
because everybody loves that.
That was one
People-
of our highest
that was-
rated shows.
Live
my
from
gosh.
live
If-
from a Denver halfway house too. You know, like you know, that just don't happen all the time. Just about once every 10 years. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, all right. so
Absolutely. No.
we got
we
7 more.
we appreciate all the time that you've put in, literally, to the game.
Oh,
For sure.
Katie.
And then you come and
My
share the
pleasure.
great stories. Thank you for turning your trauma into humor for us.
You're welcome. Yeah, you gotta laugh at it. You know what I'm saying? You gotta keep a bright outlook and stay chipper.
I mean, I was just having that exact conversation earlier. I trust the process. I'm staying grateful for all of it. The
Oh,
good,
yeah.
bad, and what we perceive as ugly. Yep, for sure.
Yeah, man. I wake up in the morning, it's all gravy. You know.
Fuck yes. Amen to that, my friend. I hope to get my hands on some of that strawberry. I heard you say earlier that you're not really releasing what you're working on. However, that strawberry, what was that strawberry
Yeah.
stuff that you gave me? Holy shit. That was spectacular.
You want me to show this
Yeah.
picture you sent, Adam?
That it tracks.
Oh, I just sent that to you. You know,
Oh,
is Mr. Denver in the chat or what?
I don't know. Let's see if he is. If so maybe
He
he's
was in the
embarrassed.
chat. Oh, Mike!
That's good stuff right there. Good job, Mike.
Spectacular.
There he is. Oh,
Mike,
shit.
Down there with the blue lobster in them. I've seen those.
No, cytogenetics.
Some of those are.
I missed all that. What was that last part?
Yeah, I heard some blue lobster talk right there.
There's a little subliminal talk.
Make
We're on my
Did
side.
you just make that?
Jabba,
Jabba jabba rubber now.
No,
All right,
we were
what is
looking at
that,
some of
James?
Short's photos that he posted of some of those crosses that he did, that cytogenetics did. That they tested out there at Radio Ridge or whatever it is.
I saw those earlier. It's kind of got like a little claw look to the sunflower.
Yeah.
Frosty.
Good.
Oh, there's that chicken beer.
Yeah,
that looks
chicken
tasty.
beer. Ah.
Oh, that's what that was behind you. I was trying to
It's
figure
either
out
a
what that was.
huge beer. It's either a huge beer or a very small chicken right there. That's what I'm saying.
That's about as sanitary as it was. Oh God!
No, the worst thing was the motherfucker drank the shit and was farting like fucking that dude. Oh, it's so bad, man. So bad.
Oh, damn.
Wait, Odie, who's the other one there with you, or did you just hand that joint to yourself?
I got Tim with
Oh, yeah,
me,
he's just handing it back
and,
and forth to himself. He's
another buddy of mine, Andrew.
passing it in front of the camera with two different.
Yeah, well, you know, at least you know what we're doing.
Stranger things have happened on this show, Katie. What are you talking about?
I trust that. I trust that. Sorry, I'm multitasking. I've got all my puppies. I'm making dinner. Got all the things going. I'm so excited to be here with you all, though. It's really nice to actually be on the show. Usually I'm just on Patreon, so I'm doing all of this before I head there.
Like a warm up.
Where are you heading to?
Yeah, there's no Patreon.
Well, no, I'm not heading anywhere now. I'm home.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm
You're
actually at the old studio.
Oh, that's true.
Oh,
That's true. You're in the old, well, sort of. You're near the
hide in the room.
You're around the corner from the illustrious studio.
Hey, can anybody get in on this?
That's funny. I turned your guys' old studio into my actual bedroom.
There you go.
That's
where
where
all
I
the-
sleep
now
now.
that- now you can
that's,
say-
that's where all the magic happens.
Exactly. I was just about to say. Now you can really say that.
LIVIN, living.
You'd be like, you know that episode?
I'm totally that classic single chick with all my dogs sleeping on my pillows. They sleep all over me. It's a dog pile in there. I love it.
This is why you need to come on the show more, Katie.
Why? Because I say random bullshit. That's funny.
Yes. Yes.
Oh
for
well,
sure.
I love you guys and I appreciate you for appreciating me. For
And
sure.
why don't we play a game? James, let's play a game with Katie, Odie, and Duke, and Tim. You have
Come on,
experts
James,
here.
quick. Dance.
I love.
Make something up.
I was
Dance
like, wait,
monkey.
what are these games?
I
Christina
think Andrew
Cannabis
might
wrote to
surprise
me.
you there too.
She didn't get her 200 packs of seeds.
Who?
Christina Cannabis from Vegas, the one who won the competition last time.
She
I
wants her
lost,
200.
she
No,
won.
200 not packs, but 200.
I was
It
like
200
200 packs.
seeds.
Okay.
200 packs. You're gonna cripple them. Yeah,
It was
James.
like a pack of seeds. Did those seeds go out to her?
You forgot. You forgot.
No, she didn't win shit. She lost the question.
Oh!
You know, there's no second place.
Oh,
you win the,
damn.
You win
Yeah, that's
everything. You win nothing. So.
Damn.
I love you, James. That was fucking
Well, I mean,
perfect.
we can all be like woke, like, oh, everybody's a winner, but no, she didn't win.
At least you're saying that with
That
the
was in
Adam
the
Dunn
last
Show logo behind
administration.
you.
That was during the last administration. This new administration, no winners.
Yes,
No
we're back to two genders, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, we're back to two genders, no winners. Two genders, no winners. There you
Oh.
go.
You coming
Really
back?
another winner.
Oh wait, you have why? It's a. Oh, I noticed the Bitcoin thing there. That's why you said crypto
Was
shrimp.
it 77 now? 78?
Went for it. I think we're at 77, 78. I kind of.
It's crazy.
Alt spike.
It is crazy right now. It's going nuts.
And the funny thing is that it's
Right,
that-
74.
like as far as the amount of
74?
views.
What do you mean? It dropped to 3
So
already?
we're at
76.3 right now.
And if you think about like 2 years ago, you could have bought Bitcoin for 16K.
But you can say
buy
that
the
every
dip.
year. Every year you can say, well, 2 years ago.
Well,
you
it's
got
4-year cycle, so it just is.
$1.
So if you go back to 2020, if you go back to 2016,
Oh,
you go
yeah.
back to
Right now it seems
2012,
impossibly expensive, and then next year you're going to be like, dude, it's 150, or like, I could have got it at 77 if you just bought it last year.
and there's nobody in the market right now. It's all ETFs. It's all big institution money.
Yeah.
That's buying. There's no retail. It's not in the market now. So,
Is-
you can tell by the amount of YouTube.
So
views,
James,
like
tell
in the-
us
in
when the
bull
next
market
dip.
last year.
Tell us when the next dip happens.
No more
It's,
dips. There's no more dips. It's over.
It depends. We're coming. We're in crypto spring right now. Shit's going crazy.
It's
That's
going
it.
like a rocket. Rocket ships are going now
There you go. Rock to the moon, Alice.
to Mars.
Dips are now for buying. Dips are for buying.
Hey,
Yes.
dude, I never would have thought of that. That's a good idea. I was going to go into, I was ready to buy at the top end of everything.
No,
Buy
no,
it, top it out.
That's what the crypto simp does. You're not the crypto simp. No,
No,
Crypto shrimp? What? Oh,
Crypto
simp.
I don't know much about crypto. I want to learn more about
Better
it.
hurry up. Better hurry up before it's
I know.
What's the shit coin?
so
What's the
much
shit coin of the moment, James?
I caught a long on Drift this morning, which is like I showed you the screenshot. It's up 1,300%, like some crazy shit. So like,
So
I'm gonna
James,
hopefully write
your
that down.
advertising is going way up now. Now that we know that you're totally
1,300% up. Is it going to actually
You
go?
said-
Yeah,
you sent
I
Mark,
can tell you how much I put on that.
but you
1,300%
sent
up,
Mark
right?
like 9 minutes of script to read.
That's
That's
60 seconds. I had it timed out.
It's
Wait, it takes him,
immaculate,
like,
and Mark
6 minutes.
crushes it every fucking week.
Mark takes a lot longer than 60 seconds, though. I can tell you that.
Yes, I'll tell
I'll
you
start
that.
writing. I'll start
Because
writing
he's
30 seconds.
thoughtful in his approach.
Yeah, and he's good at it. That's why.
Thoughtful or awful? Would you say
Quality.
thoughtful or
These
awful? I
fucking,
didn't hear what you
these
said.
fucking guys cannot.
Was it
even
awful or
love themselves.
thoughtful?
Mark, shitty Jamie,
Yep.
I heart you.
You guys
Yeah,
say
shitty
something?
Jamie, you're the best.
I'm watching
how
the
you
game.
meant it.
I'm not listening to you guys.
Oh, that's great.
Can you guys
How do
hear
you
my puppy
decide?
whining at me?
I can. Did you hear mine just wrestling with each other? I was
Maybe they're
like down
talking
here.
to each other in dog.
They're always yelling at each other in dog. My dogs are all aggressive. They have to live separate lives now because
Show 'em
they
the
keep
scars. Pull out scars.
they keep attacking me while they attack each other. So now they all stay in different places. And they each get let out. They're in jail essentially. They
Oh my
each get let out for a little bit of time. I'm
He's a
like,
dog
there's
warden.
yeah.
Dog
You
warden.
get a little bit of time in the yard and then you're
Did
fucking
Duke
done.
advise you on a yard schedule?
I'm
Yeah,
telling
you gotta watch out because they'll bury fucking shanks out there and kick them up when the shit pops up.
When you're not
It's
looking.
so awful. They'll bury shanks out there. Oh my gosh. It feels like
Yeah, you
feels
thought
like
you
they
thought
would if
you
they
thought you
could.
gave them a chewy stick until they honed it into a fucking dagger.
Yeah. Out there scraping it back and forth across the thing. Like,
Yeah, you think he's licking his butthole? He's pulling that fucking piece of steel out.
No, they're violent and aggressive as fuck. So I could absolutely. You guys are painting the best picture. He says.
Fucking David Jones. You all right, Dave?
I'll be fine.
How's your puppy girl doing,
I
Dave?
see everything Duke was saying.
So do I. That was fucking spectacular.
She's whining at me right now. Don't whine at me, sweetie. She's a
She's a
terror.
sweetie. Okay, so is this really your dogs then? That you had in that was just an AI picture with the bear,
No,
obviously.
James has packs of dogs all
packs
over
of dogs and
you
a
know.
bear just hanging around.
Yeah.
They guard my cannabis.
It's trained. It's a
And a
trained
kangaroo.
bear. It eats CBD like
Picture
it's
didn't
No,
happen,
are
right?
you guys
Picture didn't
screwing
happen.
with me because
Yeah,
I am a little bit
no.
gullible?
They fucked
Yeah,
up that
no.
bear.
Totally true.
Totally.
Well, I literally just got done saying I've never been where he's at.
Why wouldn't you have a pet bear in Mexico?
And
Everybody
why wouldn't a
What?
dog ride an
I
alligator?
didn't. Maybe
It's
not a
Mexico
pet
crop.
bear.
Whatever.
That's at the
Hippos. You want
Canada
the
crop.
hippo. You need the cocaine hippos, if anything. We're gonna be
Oh,
down there.
God.
What that is a
I'm on it.
cocaine hippo.
I'm on it.
He's on it.
Yeah.
It's
Give
coming.
James
Oh.
a second. He'll have it right there.
Cocaine hippo. Got it. Oh yeah. Coming right up.
Let me get that for you.
Generate.
One generated cocaine hippo / dog.
Not bad.
Dog. Woof.
You got it?
With the extra legs and
No,
shit.
that's an alligator. and
Yeah,
dog.
with four fingers.
Four fingers
I need a 4-fingered hippo.
and a plate of lasagna
Yeah.
Oh.
and chicken beer.
There are a lot of wild dogs down there in Mexico, so I understand the wild dogs. You don't have any dog that you do you have
No,
any
there's
that-
foreigners down here. We eat the dogs and the cats, right? Like we're eating them.
Oh.
So that's why there's no these
for
things.
shit's sake.
No,
Yeah.
Eating the dogs.
didn't.
Yep.
Yeah, no, you don't got to worry
So
about
do.
the strays. that
Vinny,
way.
do it.
So
No eating dogs.
We eat the
No.
No
dogs.
eating the cats. Come on, Vinny.
It's
Is he
been
there?
done. It's been done.
Vinny.
Vinny.
Have any of you actually
wait.
ever had dog meat or cat meat? Have any of you ever actually had any kind of meat like that?
Well, Adam's
Or,
the only
like,
one who can
What's
say
the most
no.
exotic meat
That-
that you've ever had?
Yeah, it
Happens
my
in
internet
jail.
fucked up. No, it wasn't even in jail. It was in Richmond.
What did you have?
I gotta fucking hear this. There's no way.
Oh, is
there's
he?
no
We
sound
lost
right
his
now.
signal.
Oh yeah, come on, it just went out.
Dude,
Cat.
call us back.
Yeah, the internet sector is so fucked up.
You
no,
were about to say you ate penguin?
cocaine hippo.
Oh, cocaine hippo. There we go. Oh, shit.
all right, here we go. There we go.
Moondang, is that Moondang or what?
Yeah, Moodang cocaine hippo. Do that one.
Moondang hippo. Cocaine.
Snorting cocaine.
Nice.
Uh,
That's good.
He's having internet issues.
no eating pets. No pets. Not even pets.
Okay, wait. Did you put this into AI
Fred,
and it just
John,
generated a?
Fred.
No, this
Fred
was last
the
August. I went to
raccoon. His
Africa.
name was Fred.
No, he just painted that right there.
No,
Katie.
last
Yeah.
August I went to Africa. It's, The price of cocaine over there is fucking through the roof.
He got two to take a shot for him. He's like, two, quick.
This is wild that it's able to come up with that.
Vacation
like
photos.
that.
You're wild.
No, that I mean that AI is able comes up with cocaine on the back of a hippo. This is crazy. That
Katie,
looks like
what
a real
would you like
picture.
to see right now? What would you like to see on what?
No, I'm
animal
not
right
on the
now?
interwebs. You know I don't
This
stay on the
isn't- this isn't go
interwebs.
through
I've
James
just
and
posted a
comments.
couple pictures this week, which I'm quite proud of. I don't go. I'm off of the internet, so I don't. Every week you guys share shit, and I'm like, what the hell are they talking about?
All right, I got some prompts for you, James. Let's do.
I still want to know what kind of meat you ate in
Just-
Richmond.
Well, I'm gonna get James to paint the scene behind him, utilizing
Text
artificial
it
intelligence.
to him so we don't have to hear it. So we don't know.
All right.
God damn it,
All
I
right,
love
James.
you. Go for it.
All right, James. This is what we're gonna do. These are the prompts. All right. We want to have rabbits and cats running out of a back door in a dirty downtown city.
Okay. Go, James. Do it. Make it happen. Cocaine Hippo Part 2. That's the 2. I see that.
That was a good one.
Where are they running from? Are they
In
running
a dirty
from the Donald?
city.
They are escaping the restaurant through the back door. It was a screen door.
Busting through a screen door. There you go.
Is
Well,
that
the
because the
door-
42 monkeys escaped in Massachusetts this week?
Well, I
No, it
can
was in
tell
From a
you.
research facility? Or
Was it in
I
Virginia,
can tell
wherever
you.
it was?
Did I ever tell you about the herpy monkeys?
What? No. What the?
No, but please tell us. Just don't touch us.
Oh no, I didn't have. I wasn't exposed.
South Carolina, the monkeys were at.
Yeah, this was in Richmond, Virginia, at VCU with MCV, where they do all the heart, and they invented the fucking Viagra there too, man. Anyways,
Keep men from rolling out of bed?
yeah.
Old men, you know?
Oh, I get that now.
Oh, kickstand.
I'm glad you said it. I was going to.
I want to see a couple new bullet holes in Odie's ceiling. That's what I want to see. I want to see a fresh one.
Are those actually
We need a
bullet
freshie.
holes?
We need a freshie. Come on.
Hey, if
It gets rough around here at
I
the
want
farm.
to check that barrel. Them suckers are keyholing from 2-3 feet away. That'd be bad.
Little bit.
Yeah.
Wait,
do that.
are you going to tell
I
us about
see a
the?
couple of spots right there, though, Odie, that are about to come through there.
Yeah, that's
Soapy?
that's where they used to have the rivets holding up insulation. That's what it is. Bro, I've been in some low down places before, Odie. You know. I know your
Wow.
place. I know
We
it
gotta go
well.
there
I've
with him.
never been there, but
James,
No.
where's that AI, baby?
It
tiny
works
house where
really
you're
nice.
at,
It's
Odie?
very warm.
Your,
It's insulated.
your Duke has given you a request. Make the AI do its thing, man. Push some buttons.
it takes a minute.
Are you typing this? Are you typing this, James?
Yep. There you go. That's beautiful, James Bean. That is good. So
Oh
if
my gosh.
if you throw a couple of crazy cats in the mix,
Do the math
You're-
here, Katie. This is
I
where
got a
it's
cat
going.
here. I got a cat here.
you're
I got two cats. Oh, behind me.
oh, okay. Oh, there they are.
Okay, they look like cat rabbits. I was seeing cat faces with rabbit ears.
Hold on. What's
Yo,
going on?
what do you know about the Cabot though? I was locked up with this dude back in my first stint. His dad owned a museum, like an oddities museum in fucking Ohio, right? And he swore they had it stuffed, and he was like, I seen it when it was alive. It was the Cabot. And motherfuckers would come and see this fucking Cabot. And he's like, it would hop around and do things like a rabbit, but kind of look like a cat, but it would shit cat turds. It wouldn't shit little pellets. It was shitting cat turds and meowing and purring and the whole fucking deal. And I was like, get the fuck out, man. He was like, for real. But yeah, apparently, I guess there's a Cabot. I don't know. Fucking science, right? But
James Cabot.
Some good shit right there.
That explains so much, Duke.
yeah, man. Fucking Cal, dude. Fucking Cal is a fucking Lord. He's a mess.
Hey, James Cabot, James Cabot.
Oh, there they are. 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 Anyways,
they look kind of relaxed. Those rabbits don't look like they're fearing for their life though. They look kind of like they're just chilling around.
So
I'm high. Those look like little kangaroos to me.
You want them to run like terror.
There we go. So, Duke,
more terror,
now,
more terror, more terror.
Now that the terror AI has been released, do you want to let Katie know?
What happened?
Was it kangaroo?
I've had rabbit before.
I've had kangaroo.
Yeah, and I'd had rabbit before, which led me to what I was thinking would happen, right? Because I've had plenty of chicken. I've had some rabbit.
No way.
I've eaten other assorted, animals, right? But the meat that was in that General Tso's alleged chicken was none of anything I've ever had. All right. And dude, it was kind of whack, right? So I don't eat there.
Squidgy, what was the texture? What was the difference? What was it like? Not stringy?
Not
Scream meow.
It was
General Meows.
Yeah, it's called Meow's chicken.
Yeah, the number
General Meow's
13,
chicken.
I didn't want any more poop noodles. I'd already stocked up on that. So this is like a week or two gone by, man. I'm just walking up the street, going to my buddy's place, and I would always cut through that little fucking alley. And like when I was hungry, I would go in there, get something to eat, and then, continue on my little way. Well, I'm cutting through the alley, and sure as shit, the fucking screen door was open, and I heard a bunch of fucking yelling in Chinese or whatever, and a whole
That's
bunch
exactly
of
what they sound like. By the way.
Very good.
Yeah.
Very good. Yeah,
Exactly.
good.
It's not racist at all.
No.
Nailed it.
Nailed it.
Safe space, remember? Safe space.
Hey, they were Chinese, and that's how it sounded to me, man. That's my
Fair enough.
You just say it sounded Chinese without
about that. They could go fuck themselves. You know what I'm saying? I don't know Chinese. I know Japanese. I'm sorry. Konnichiwa. All right. So, anyways, fucking goddamn rabbits. Yeah, a bunch of rabbits and a fucking cat come bolting out the fucking back door, dude.
Nice.
And I'm just
That's
saying,
not disturbing.
Three-legged cats coming out the door.
Hey,
AI
Otis
cat,
went
you
through
know?
my yard in downtown Denver.
Were they screaming, "Help us! Help us"?
No, I was just smoking a cig, dude. Just like, what the fuck? Oh, fuck. Like,
I've
holy
had
shit.
rabbit stew. I've had a rabbit stew. That
Awesome.
wasn't bad. I've never had. I've never had.
No, I had kangaroo ribs in Australia, but it was really weird because they're about the exact same size as a human's ribs, and you're just like eating them, going like, "This is fucking bizarre, dude," because it looked kind of like a human, and you're like, "Yeah, it's not."
What do you know about the conspiracy that every time they do homeless people roundups and they dip off, that the McRib always makes a comeback? What's up?
Oh, we had the guy on the show. We could have asked him. Ask Pitman real quick. He might have known.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Definitely Rod would have known.
Dude, why didn't you jump on when he was on, dude? You could have asked him personally.
I mean,
I was. He was talking about his Ron, Ramblin' Ron or whatever.
Yeah,
and I was like,
Ramblin' Rod.
Yeah, because I was like, it's crazy. I knew a Ron, but he was crackhead Ron.
Oh, that would have been perfect. We could have got them together and the Ramblin' Rod crackhead combo show. Would have been great.
Yeah, this dude was fucking wild as shit. He would put on a fucking zoot suit, right? Like a proper fucking zoot suit. And he liked it because of all the hidden pockets. And he would hide his crack in it. And anyway, he'd go down to the hood, right, in the zoot suit, scoop up a bunch of crack. And this motherfucker would get blasted out and go to the roller disco. Like high as shit on fucking crack doing roller disco in a zoot suit.
I don't know, man. I was banging.
Sounds like a time was had.
Hey, he was a wild dude, man. He got really weird. Somebody gave him a Bible and he started reading that shit. And before I left Virginia, he came by and I was giving him a couple clones and giving him some weed. And this joker pulls out a little sack, dumps heroin on the table, snorts that shit before I can even react, and says, "Do you think Jesus is okay with us smoking weed?" I said, "Get the fuck out of here, Rod. Get the fuck out." Like, just so many strikes, just in one fatal swoop. And that was the last time I had seen him talk to him.
Gosh dang. Yeah, at least ask before you just bust out doing heroin in my front room.
And you're gonna do a rail of fucking dope and then ask me if I think Jesus is okay with us smoking weed? Like, you are cooked, bro. Out.
Ron, I don't have the time or bandwidth for this fucking conversation, my friend.
Yeah, man.
This is your cue to exit, homie.
Yeah, man. I'm trying to give you some time, dude, so you can get out there and make it come up and try not to smoke it all up. Fuck.
Oh, do you think Jesus is good with us smoking weed? My dad used to always say there's a quote in the Bible in Genesis. It talks about I've given you every herb bearing seed to use as meat. And my dad, when we were kids, everybody that would talk about the Bible and how cannabis was essentially the devil lettuce. My dad would whip out that saying, and it put people in their place pretty fucking quick.
Whip out his
Anytime
Genesis. I'd whip out my Genesis, slap
He
it on
whipped
the
out
table.
his Genesis.
Say, what the fuck? Check that bitch out right there.
Anytime anybody's asked me what I think about it, I was like, I don't fucking care what some dude that's been dead for 2,000 years thinks about what the fuck I'm doing, man. Like, I like it. So I'm gonna do me.
Attaboy.
I like conversation, so I'm willing to entertain that. And I believe Jesus was a mushroom, so I love conversations about Jesus.
I mean, he's like
I'm reading a cool book about it right now.
He's the quintessential.
Where were his
stoner.
hands then?
He's the
if he was a
quintessential
mushroom?
stoner anyway. Look at him.
Well, they're up above the mushroom. You know what I'm saying? There's a body attached to it. You know what I'm saying?
That's a whole new meaning to what they put on the cross then.
Yeah, he's well hung.
There we go. Attaboy.
Yeah, buddy. Yeah, I can break
Duke,
it.
you have to come to Denver so you can have some barbecue at the Viper Pit.
Come on
Because
now,
it
dude.
really is.
Is that
something
what
else,
you
man.
named it? It's called the Viper Pit
Are you
now?
doing that?
It is the Viper Pit officially.
Fuck yeah! All right.
So
All
High
right.
Cafe. It's still So High Cafe.
So High
Oh,
Cafe.
Right, barbecue.
So High Cafe.
Yeah,
That's where the eatery is.
You got to keep them on their toes a little bit, you know.
Yeah, for sure, dude. For sure. Yeah, I'd love to come up. I just don't come up there very often. I only leave the house or property, I should say. I go outside, but
Definitely come down with
nah,
some
twice a
brisket.
month max, man. It's just to go to town, scoop up a few things, and roll back home, man.
You just make sure if you do come up, you give us a heads up so you don't be
And
like,
it's on a
you said
Friday."
it last week.
Oh yeah, man.
Working out for
Fuck
you.
it.
For
Yeah,
sure, come
definitely.
up on a Friday. And also,
Yeah.
are any of you, Adam, are you going to that groovy gravy thing?
Is there another one? I don't even know. When is it?
Gravy.
I think it's in the next couple weeks, I want to say.
He
That's what I was
does
just
the,
going to ask you.
Yeah. No, I'll give him a call. I'll give him
It's the deal where he has like the 4-course dinner type shit.
Oh,
dabs
it's
and
the dinner
thing. Is it
Yeah.
that?
Oh, is that the dinner? I thought it was the seat
I don't
thing.
know. Oh, I
That's-
don't know.
that-
well,
That's
that sounds
funny.
like a,
I
that
thought
sounds
of
like a
all the
commitment.
people you two might know, and both of you don't. No.
Nope.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on. I know
And
Wolf does it.
do you ever come to, you would, because that he just started doing that since
Well, I'm supposed to be going
Yeah.
to New York to that OMG event, which is the Cushion Sour Cup.
is that next weekend?
It's the weekend. It's after. Yeah, it's after next weekend. So it's
Oh, the 23rd, like the 23rd.
No.
Somebody say Kush.
And then he's
Flavor
going
of the month.
up
Listen
there. I did it. I
Okay,
said
do
the
your
right
seats here
words.
now, Ed.
Oh,
James, go
perfect.
right ahead.
Do it.
man.
Do your ad. Do your ad.
I
Do
don't
your
have an
ad.
ad.
Go.
I don't have an
Do
ad.
it. Do
I don't
it.
have an ad.
Yes,
wanna
you
have
do.
it
do.
right now?
A little bit of a
Yeah.
double entendre type of thing.
Pull it up there, Mark, and
Mark,
All
make it
right.
happen.
you have it
Yeah.
memorized,
Yeah, I
Mark.
wrote it from Mark.
No, I
Like,
don't.
nah, I can't.
Don't take his work away from him.
I don't have it memorized. Oh,
Is there a game on tonight?
Yeah, actually, it
are
just
they
tipped
playing the
off,
Heat?
and you guys are interrupting me. All right.
Whoa!
Hey
interrupted.
there.
Mark, good to hear
Yeah,
your voice,
Mark.
my
Hey
friend.
there, Adam Dunn Show listeners. Mark here with some exciting news that's gonna make your month. It's time for the flavor of the month. That's
Oh,
right.
you're how many
This
seconds?
month
Wait a minute. Hold
we're
up. You're
highlighting.
20
Hold on,
seconds
stop.
already.
Cut.
You're supposed
Cut.
to do this in 60
Cut. Let's
seconds.
go back to
Time.
one.
All
Go
right.
back to one and
Go.
action.
Hey there, Adam Dunn Show listeners. Mark here with some exciting news that's gonna make your month. It's time for our flavor of the month. That's right. This month we're highlighting our entire lineup of Kush varieties for all of you enthusiasts out there. For this month only, any seeds with Kush in the name is 20% off their regular price. And speaking of incredible genetics, let's give a huge shout out to our breeder of the month, Precursor Genetics. These innovative breeders are revolutionizing the game with their unique varieties. To celebrate, we're offering 20% off all Precursor genetic items. But that's not all. We got weekly flash sales running until the end of the year. These special offers are strictly limited time deals. So if you want to check our site regularly to catch these exclusive items while they last. And folks, stay tuned for our upcoming Black Friday sale. It's going to be absolutely epic. Ready to grab some amazing deals? Visit seedsherenow.com for your favorite seeds. And head over to iwantclones.com to check out our living genetics. Don't forget, these are this month's specials only. Don't miss out. That's seedsherenow.com and iwantclones.com, your trusted source for premium genetics.
See, I think he spends a lot of time reading. I think it sounds good. Stop.
He does, but
40 seconds.
Wow, you did good, Mark. You did really good.
You've got it down.
Awesome.
Yeah, I heard
1
all
minute, 10 seconds.
I heard all 10 seconds of stumbles along the way where it was like, but it was all good.
Is there really a game on tonight, though?
Yeah.
Yeah, it is. What's the score?
It's 20 to 10.
What's the score?
We're up on Miami 20 to 10.
Oh, so you're paying attention to that. I see.
Left in
really
the first quarter.
I see how you didn't even have to look. You knew exactly what the number was.
20 to 10.
You knew the whole thing.
The score changed 3 times while he was reading, and he still.
I
knew
love
the
what a dedicated fan you are to them and us.
I was
such a fan.
But there's something more.
I'll just keep telling you how great you are.
He's a real enthusiast.
I'm a real enthusiast.
Oh,
That's what I thought too.
Hey-o.
Yes, right there.
It was beautiful, Mark. I loved it.
Yeah.
I heard it, Mark.
Yeah, good. I'm glad you like
You
that.
enthusiast.
For all you enthusiasts.
I totally heard that. That's funny.
Yeah, I did that on purpose. Come on.
Good job.
Yeah, man. I love it.
All right.
Good job.
And everyone head over to Dominion Seed Company.
Do my job.
Go to dominionseedcompany.com and buy some of Duke's gear from Seed Here Now, that is.
Yeah, right around. Just right. Hand the money. When you do the money, make sure you hold it over James's head as you can't toss it over to Duke.
Right. I mean,
yeah.
Hey, ozocoffee.com.
Ozo Coffee. Hey.
Go to Ozo Coffee. And
hey,
you can
speaking of Ozo, how's Rosin Dogs doing? Has he checked in with us to give us an update?
I have not heard an update since.
Oh, he's
Friday.
doing great then.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We would have heard from his driver.
Yeah, his driver would have contacted us if he was whining a lot. So we know he's definitely not whining.
Well, and I'm thankful that they caught it now after he lost like 50, 60 pounds. You know, that much easier to operate on a man that size.
Oh yeah, there you go. Thanks for that one.
Yeah.
Less, they don't need to come along to flip him over.
Not in Boulder, get it sent to your house. In Denver, come to
so
Sohai
mean?
Cafe and get a cup of Ozo coffee.
Done
OzoCoffee.com.
deal 2024 is the code. You get 20% off everything they roast. It is amazing coffee.
You
fly
better bring
all
some
over-
next week though, because I'm getting down to the wire. I'm already
I got a big bag. I was going to bring it tonight.
I was hoping I was like already like timing it perfectly. Like I was like grinding and watching every ground. Like fuck.
Oh, yeah.
Bag. Come on, my last bag right now.
I'll try to
I
pick
got
up
some.
extra before the end of the week.
Yeah, come on, Dave. What are you doing, dude?
Dave gave me a bag of it last year.
What?
And, like, yeah.
What?
Wait,
I don't want
like,
no last
dude.
year coffee. I mean,
I don't want no last year.
No, I'm a bit of a coffee snob as well, man.
You're not
Like,
helping, Duke. You've had
No,
one
I don't.
cup
Still
in a
have it.
year.
if you still have
No,
it, you can't be a snob. That'd be impossible.
No, I just said I just drink it.
BillOfSoil.com.
I drink it like the week of, you know. But I was gonna say, between the two that I had, very low acidity, nice and smooth, very flavorful, like perfect start to any morning. Get your Ozo coffee.
Wow. Hey, look at that. Duke approved.
Head over to buildasoil.com, 855-877-SOIL. Give him a call. Tell him you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. You can get almost anything for your garden, including.
They sell my soil.
Tried to reach out to
from
Miles to see if I get
Miles.
an update, but he must be still recovering from his last week's event. So
I don't know. I think he's just ducking us right now.
Get the Dunn deal.
Really?
Give him a call.
I was gonna ask how your soil's doing, dude.
I wore the shirt and everything.
Awesome.
Dude, how's your soil doing?
I know he hasn't reached back out to me either. Samesies though.
Freaking Miles.
So,
what the hell?
Miles, give us a
He's
shout.
famous now. No,
There it
he's
is, the
famous.
Minion
Text me
brand.
back.
Yeah, he's famous. It's okay.
Yeah, yeah. Like
That's what happens when they become famous. They
Because
forget.
you were
about
talking about
their
your
people.
soil the last time that I saw. Well, even before the last time I saw you, before you had fully released it.
fully
And I
released.
just wanna let
Oh,
everybody-
before Duke
let's-
fully released, I don't even want to know anymore. I'm done.
Hey,
The
hey,
climax.
hey,
Whoa.
hey. Okay, so
Because
everyone
I
go
don't
to,
even want to know anymore. This is
let's go to
Only he
dabx.com.
would be like that to
Wait,
one of
wait,
his
wait,
best
wait.
guests.
Just finish this one. BuildSoil.com, 855-877-SOIL. Get the Dunn deal by calling them. Get your Dominion soil blend. the
Get your
diamond,
Dominion soil.
And build a soil collab.
Yeah, it's like a cheat code for growing.
Yo tips.
Yo tips.
I think I have your recipe though. You were on live one time and gave it out, and I sat on live and I wrote your whole recipe down.
See, there you go.
Did it, ran it, produced it.
And now it's
You
making.
know I'm a
it
fucking
has
slacker.
It's called
I will.
Katie's Mix. Katie's
It's a factory in
And now
Shenzhen.
I will be coming out with my own mix. Yeah.
Yeah, get that shut. Get that shut.
Nice.
Isn't that how it works though?
Yes.
With real
I mean,
ground
it
up
is
cats.
cannabis,
I'll come out with my own.
Well, you're a master grower now.
Yeah, you come out with your own soil blend, and then you have only 5 dogs, and then great soil blend, and then 4 dogs. They're like, what's the secret ingredient, Katie?
Yeah.
My weed tastes like Labrador, man.
It's mostly Mountain Valley.
Everybody go to yotip.com. It is conference, flu, and plague season. You do not want to get sick today. You want to just enjoy life. So it's a better way to smoke. You put them on any joint, any pre-roll. Just makes it hit better while providing a barrier of protection between you and the person you're standing next to. James, can you make an AI video of people sharing a joint and then rolling the tape back and seeing what they were doing in the 60 seconds before they got to the circle, where one didn't wash his hands after coming out of a bathroom stall?
Nice.
The other one was, I don't know,
Popping a zit.
maybe
Yeah, you pop it close up
popping
of
a
a zit. Pop.
Oh, yeah, that's me. That's
popping
me.
a zit.
Oh, yeah. Nose.
What else?
Fingers in the nose.
Oh, yeah.
Making
Scratching
out
their
with
butthole.
somebody. Yeah,
Yeah.
scratching their butthole and then sniffing the
Yeah.
finger.
Checking their butthole for pulling hairs out of their butthole. A little hair
Okay.
pulling going on there.
Can you get on it right now? Please, let's
Ripping
go.
out-
Chop,
ripping
chop.
out some hairs.
We got a few minutes left. Get that shit rendered.
Pass the joint. Keep
Quick,
the tip.
render it now.
None of
Yotips.com.
this is AI generated. I don't know what the fuck.
Wet one.
Yeah.
This is real life facts, shit that happens. That happened on
I could give you some real life shit. Like,
I have this amazing fucking photo collection. You guys are haters.
go to a festival and get in the middle of that circle with them nasty fucking wooks. Catch you some wook flu. See what the fuck happens.
There you go.
Y'all
Dude,
have
come smack you in the head.
Roast
You go-
the fuck
you go,
out.
you go
Everything
into
you
the
just
cir-
said.
You go into the smoking circle, right? And then you wook to the left and then wook to the right. And then you know you're fucked. So you have to pull out your tip to fucking protect yourself, right?
Wow.
And you're like, but I have the ultimate protection. The
Yeah.
yo tip.
Yo tip.
Dun,
Yeah,
dun,
you
dun.
can call them filthy wooks without saying it. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
you
yeah.
want to, but you know, you
Wooks
get
to the
keep
left
low
of me,
class.
wooks to the right.
Exactly.
Yeah.
There you go. We got to get a song made, quick AI song about wooks in a wook circle. Come on, James, we need it.
James, are you writing this down?
Yeah, taking notes. Trust me.
Yotip.com.
Excellent. I'll just have AI generate the transcript. I got it all.
Mark's recording the show, so he'll give you
Green
whatever you need.
Farms
Green
dispensary.
Farms right there. So Green Farms, the next powerhouse coming into Denver, Colorado, and beyond. But yes, check them out. If you have a medical card here in Colorado, you can go to their Colorado Springs shop. They got all sorts of killer deals. apparently we're blowing the doors off everywhere with just our just by handling the cannabis a little bit better than your average, putting it to not caring but actually caring, and it's like people are freaking out. I couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
I'm like,
It makes a world of difference.
what's that?
It's really beautiful.
Yeah, like fired cannabis, which is the Angela Levine's or whatever. He literally said they've never sold through material so fast, and they were just like, "This is what's going on." Like I was like, "I don't know, we're just fucking like weed." So it usually makes it handle because literally when we got in there, the people that were working there that don't work there now, but they'd like. You could tell they didn't like weed. You know what I mean? They literally didn't. They were like throwing it around and just being all. I was like, "What is going on here?" Like,
No, there was people that like they moved here and started working there because it was something you could do during the pandemic. It was something that was open.
Yeah, it wasn't
And
like
so cannabis actually brought a lot of people here just to have a job. And so when you're doing that, you know, it's like more desperation than inspiration, really. And you can really feel that when it's all of you get that, though. I'm preaching literally to the choir. You
No,
feel
we have seen two situations where all it took was not abusing the shit, and it was like, look, it's so much better when you don't treat it like it's garbage. Basically, these guys were like ripping it out of the trellis and just like pulling on it, and just like all the tops were flying off everywhere, and I was just like, what the fuck is going on over here? I was like, Jesus Christ, maybe cut the trellis, we don't need that anymore, and then pull the whole plant out, and then we'll cut the trellis off later. But he was just like doing the classic where listening to headphones and ripping on plants. I was like, okay, he's got to go.
Yeah, he's got to stab him in the leg.
HR?
Yeah, it was hard.
You know, he was gone on his own, but it was left me like, oh. Yeah.
So Adam, this question needs to be asked here. Okay, look, I know you're heavily involved in this new production facility.
Yes, sir.
Is there any fucking way you can get him to make that joint in that fucking last shot cooler?
Yes. Yeah, I think we can do that. I think we can do it.
Please.
Yeah. I'm gonna make it so it's gonna be like
work. I don't even know what you're talking about.
I'm gonna make it like there's so much weed. You're gonna go. There's no way that guy could ever get that weed into that joint. So it'll be complete opposite. How's that?
We have so much footage of us rolling joints from Green Farms flower that it
could have been. Should be your hands.
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, you
Yeah,
come in
Dave's
with the
hands.
hand model. Yeah, you're a hand model, dude. You got a
No, I
face
think
for
Katie-
radio and a hand for.
I chew on my nails. I have little tiny toddler hands, and I chew on my nails.
Toddler hands.
Yes, and then I almost nipped
Dave
my
gets
thumb off
teddies
yesterday.
and hands all
harvesting.
the time.
Okay,
Dave's a
children, let's
petty
get through
manny guy.
the
No,
shout-outs
I've
here.
never had one of those.
I
but
heard
I'm
Dave's
a fan.
hands are in panties all the time, is what I heard.
Well, my kid is listening to the show.
Greenfarmsmed.com.
Gosh, I almost had to tell them what chicken beer was.
Oh no!
You probably need a med card to shop at the Colorado Springs store, and we have a friend who's been doing medical evaluations since 2010 in the Boulder area. It's Holos Health and Joe Cohen. All you have to do is mention you heard about it on the show. I think it's 20% off.
I think he's the only medical doctor named Joe Cohen in the whole
Is it
country.
Joe Rogan?
Only one.
I don't think you can find another one. I don't think you can find another Joe Cohen.
You can find 3 in Boulder.
Green Bros.
And here's the thing. He gives you get an honest evaluation, really, and you do get an exam. I mean, he puts you on this electric machine. It's pretty neat.
He makes you do
dude,
work.
I'm coming up.
HolosHealth.com. He's going to glove up. He might, you never know. dude.
Whoa! Oh shit, dude!
Green
A little hand
Bros.
jigger and a fucking little butthole finger. Oh my god!
Hey-o!
Whoa.
Hey, what's that next one? That's 14.
Green Bros.
So is that 14? I can't see.
Green
anything.
Bros. Green Bros.
Why is Vinnie missing?
Oh, so
Green
Cullen
Bros.
was gonna come on the show tonight, but he went to a.
How did you miss finger in the butthole? Rob, Vinnie, come on, Vinnie.
Okay, come on now.
You're really not impressing me right now.
All right, kids.
Vinny's watching the game with Mark.
Green
Oh,
Bros.
Vinnie, come on.
Green Bros really does improve cannabis cultivation.
There you go. He was going to come on the show tonight because Green Bros, a road show, will be coming to Colorado next week. We'll be We'll be at Green Farms Med on Thursday.
Nice.
Where is it? that in Denver?
It's the old Lightshade building on Peoria off of 70.
You know that one?
Okay.
Come kick it.
I don't, but I would consider coming up. They make the best fucking tumbler, dude.
And
they're the best.
Even
They
if
have
you
900,000 square feet. Adam is overseeing a cultivation staff of 600.
Oh no, we're talking about tree farms now. We're not talking about.
It's a pretty voluminous place, but
here's at home. You get the harvest
Green
bucket.
Bros is going to be there. We're going to trim some weed. We're going to grind some weed, and in an interesting collaboration, we're going to demo a new seed extractor. I don't know if that's the best way.
Come on.
Yeah, from the plant. Drop the plant into it, and it separates out the seeds for you. You don't have to spend hours on each plant.
I could use that in high school, man.
Seconds.
I'm excited to try it.
Yeah.
Excited.
Oh, you're bringing that to the facility and you're going to do it there?
We are going to do it there.
I got it.
And then Friday, we're going to be at Area 420. You're
going to be
at the Flower Factory. Yeah. So we're going to where it kind of all
a lot of action going on.
It originated during the plague.
Are you going to
the first places? That was what. Yeah, that was one of the first places I went out. And Adam
that's where you gave me
packs
the
of
cookies
seeds.
and coffee.
You guys all got ADD. Or
No. That was a year later.
I got it.
Yeah, that one was when the plague was still going around, and
that was the barbecue. At the barbecue, we all got it, right?
No, this was early. This was like the first visit to Area 420, and
this was when Dave had his own cart, right?
No, that was
this was when
that was
this was before that.
Yeah,
this
that was way
when
before that. There was no cars. There was no trains there when the beginning was first.
He was offering packs of seeds. If you can get a photo of me in the wild, as he put it. The only person that won it was that barista from Ozo.
Yeah. She found that. Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. So they're going to be in
Rose.
town. We're going to be at Flower Factory. If you're down on at Area 420, give us a holler, and you can stop on by, and we're going to demo the 420 Alchemist, which is a trichome extractor.
Yes.
The M1 with Z control, so it's completely automated trimmer that can do close to 19 pounds an hour. And we're bringing the grinder and the seed extractor. So give us a call. It'll be fun.
So then Duke and I are gonna be like, we're gonna have bandanas on us, and we're gonna be following you. And then when you get out of the car, we're gonna be like, we're gonna have little voice changers, and we're gonna be like, "Go get out of the car! Give me all the things you got." Boom! Happen to be the perfect things we need, So it's gonna be the cops are never gonna figure it out.
See how that happens?
Yeah. Hey, Don. Like what we do, we need to get those little rings that have the extra finger attached. So if anybody gets a picture, be like, "Nah, it's AI." That's
you go. I like this. I saw that the 6 finger. You're like, that ain't me.
Yeah. Be like, man, why am I gonna go rob this broke ass motherfucker, man? He won't even work gas money to get out there to rob this dude, man. All he had was some dank cookies and good coffee, man. What the fuck?
You just gave away your best alibi.
I like that.
I hate to break up.
I'm retired, man. It's time to pass that torch on to the youth.
It's time to go on to the next sponsor.
The youth.
Looking for a youth out there.
Apothecary Farms.
So I gotta tell you, before Mark, you get into your memorization of
I didn't do
apothecary
anything.
extracts.
I'm just
that zombie nectar, I believe they called it.
No, the zombie resin.
Oh my, zombie resin?
Yeah.
Out of this fucking world.
He really liked it.
Out of this fucking world. Loved it.
I just finished it today.
It's in a red container. You got to go down.
$20 a gram.
Apothecary.
You can go pick it up. They still have $12 1 gram carts of OGKB and some other stuff. Limited quantities over on Federal. Go hit up Federal. Tell them Mark from Adam Dunn Show sent you.
The zombie is what Brent was talking about it when he was on the show. Basically, it's like they turn off the plant like 3 days ahead and let it kind of just dry on the vine type thing. So it's like almost dead the vine, but not quite. And then they harvest it and then they freeze it. You know what I mean? So it's like they just kind of, and that dries it up enough that you're not getting a ton of water in the freezer part. You get less water sort of, and it just changes a little bit, makes it a little bit you get better extraction, you get better numbers, for sure.
Yeah.
Wouldn't this be this would be the interesting crossover into like The Last of Us? Like it was the zombie resin that led to cordyceps invading our brains because it showed them how they could almost die.
Go to Apothecary Farms, tell them that you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. Tell them Mark from the Adam Dunn Show sent you.
No, don't tell the truth.
Cordyceps, courtesy of Mark.
Yeah,
in your
just
brain.
Mark.
Yeah, all
brain,
that.
Mark
brain
sent me.
steps.
Hit up the federal location, dude. That's good up there, man. They're good people. They're doing a good job up there.
You're passing the joint back and forth to
A lot of goods going on.
Lots of goods, all goods. Dabx.com, very good dab rig. It's a good thing for good people.
It's a good
the cheapest price
Good stuff.
ever for the most amazing dab rig out there. You
I'm
go to
rocking-
dabx.com, you enter Done Deal at checkout, you get 20% off. I believe it's $159 shipped to you with a cleaning kit. You
Or
want
if
to
you-
add a Pro Tool to that.
If you have a
Look at
rig,
that thing.
if you have a rig you like, get the rocket,
You can
dude.
get an MK Rocket right now, totally on sale, and there's
the
a
Done
new
Deal.
MK Rocket in the works. So you just wait. There's big things coming from DabX. Now's
this
the time
one-
you want to take advantage of their inventory liquidation. So you go to dabx.com, you enter Done Deal at checkout. Best dab rig there is, hit after hit after hit. No Q-tips, just a little terp wipe.
Yeah, and they're really sweet. They're sleek as shit, and they got the cool RGB lighting on it, so it looks all cool when it's dark.
Yeah,
Yep.
for sure.
Good
Then
stuff.
the
Love
Rocket turns
mine.
any rig into a dab rig.
Dabx.com, get the Done Deal. 14er Boulder.
Geeters. Oh shit. 14er.
14er.com, a most amazing dispensary. I didn't get there this week. I don't know why. I mean, I was going to go today, but it was terrible. I'll go tomorrow. Here's how 14er differentiates themselves from all the other dispensaries. A lot of dispensaries begin to look alike. They don't carry anyone else's products. You're not going to find any gummies made by someone else where you don't know where.
Sometimes they do
came from.
collabs though, right, with other people. That's like kind of like
What they will do is they'll either supply the extract to dialed in gummies or to the bomb. I mean the tincture company we just saw there, but it's their extract. It's always 14er quality. It's just an amazing company. So you go to 14er.com, you enter Done Deal at checkout on their pre-order, and you're going to get 20% off everything. Don't flex and stand in the waiting room and tell somebody what the code is who was already there. You can tell them to listen to the show, and maybe if they listen long enough, they'll be like, holy shit, that's the code. All right, I should
That's
use
the
that. So
code.
14erboulder.com.
Humboldt
Humboldt
Humidors.
Humidors. It's holiday season right now. If you enter Done Deal at checkout for Humboldt Humidors, you get 20% off anything they sell. Makes a great gift for any stoner in your life.
Very good gift. Very nice gift.
Yeah, they're really nice. They're classy as fuck. Like, I got one. Like, you remember Dave? Like,
yeah,
they're really nice, man. Like, one looks fucking good, but like functionality wise, like it keeps your weed just like mwah, like perfect, you know.
There you go, Duke Diamond seal of approval.
Wow.
Yeah, like for real.
Duke approved.
It is, and
Duke tested, Duke approved.
Yeah, yeah. Like I went through it.
People listen.
Like, yeah, solid 90 days, you know, and like one, it makes your house look nice. You know what I mean? So if you're like kind of a scumbag like me, you know, class it up a little
The
bit,
least
right?
scumbaggy part of your house. It'll be the least scumbaggy part of your
It truly is. And then when you open it, it's just, oh man, it keeps the bud just right. You gotta do your due diligence. You know, there's a little,
Gotta keep your
little
pads,
piece in there.
gotta keep your pads moist.
Yeah, exactly.
Moist.
But it's like a little schedule. You know, once a week, you pop a couple drops in there, water. You're good, man. And your weed is.
HumboltHumidors.com.
Yeah, it's nice, man. Real nice.
RockyMountainHigh.co with
Rocket Mountain High.
over.
Here they got 6 locations.
So James, did you see the designs that were like your shirt?
This is AI. This is all AI. It's not real dog.
It's exactly the same.
Ow, bite, kill.
Well, they got
Is that
3
dog AI?
locations in Denver. They
Dog
got
is total AI.
Look at the hands.
one down in Durango, one out in Montrose.
Yeah.
Drop by, tell them to get the Done Deal. They give us a.
They have
got
Dab
some
Logic there.
Yep, Dab Logic, some 710.
Shout out to Julian.
And I would say that Rocky Mountain High is actually buying a lot of that Boba Fett from you. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett. Boba Fett.
Boba Fett.
Oh,
Boba
heck
Fett.
yes.
Nice.
You got to head over to Rocky Mountain High. Tell them you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. They're going to take really good care of you.
That's right.
Look at all those locations.
Pick one.
Locations still coming.
Yeah, well, there's more coming. So RockyMountainHigh.co.
Stundenglass.com. Enter Done Deal at checkout. 23% off. The most amazing double-ended gravity you'll ever smoke out of. You want to get the oil attachment. 23% off.
HortitechDirect.com.
The best green.
Today would have been a perfect day to have one out in the snow and test it out on the heaviest snow of the year. Jesus Christ, this shit's sad. Either one.
Sturdy as all get up. You could give them a call at HortitechDirect.com. Grab their phone number, send them an email, tell them you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show. Any greenhouse you buy, you're going to get 5% off. We had a listener or somebody we interviewed from North Dakota, right? It was minus 70 degrees with 50-mile-an-hour winds, and it never changed inside. 72 all day long. HortitechDirect.com. And remember, buy a greenhouse, 6 brushes.
6
They work.
trim brushes.
Yep.
Yeah.
I love those things.
Yeah, it replaces a trim crew of like 47.
Hell yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Combine that with Green Bros and you're good to go. Right?
You guarantee that, Dave?
Turpwipes.com.
Dave,
Absolutely not.
Dave,
Absolutely not.
Yes, sir.
Turpwipes.com/done deal. That's all you need to do. No code necessary. Turpwipes.com/done deal. A must have. If you have any messy stoner in your life, any dabber, it's the product.
Bio 365.
Katie, you come in with the bass. And then Katie.
For soil and space, you go to bio365.com. Tell them what you're working with right now. They'll send you a small sample, and they'll put it side by side. You're going to love it. Bio365.com. Adam uses it. What more do you need to know?
Oh yeah, tons of us are using it. Jinx Proof has been using it for years and years, and a bunch of other breeders. But yeah, it's great stuff. Yeah, not much you can say beyond just I'm so happy when I have to transplant. I'm like, it's now the plants are happy, you know, except for Duke Diamond and his or Katie's mix, because Katie's mix I heard is actually better.
Yeah,
You're about to crush the fucking game.
Duke Diamond's
Rush
mix,
it.
she added her own witchy shit to it. So
But she adds love to her.
Maybe that's what I'll fucking call it. Some
Katie's
witchy shit.
witchy mix.
What?
Yeah.
Jim,
3% witchy shit, which could be
Still
actual
hanging
witch
on
shit.
the
It could be
guy.
actual Katie shit in there. If you don't,
Bio365.com.
then it had witch shit in there.
Numb nuts.
Numbnutsco.com. Done deal at checkout. 20% off all their CBD peanut butters. If you are a medical patient, you can click the Find Our Nuts button, and you can find their 1,000-milligram tubs. Adam, if you're listening, we need some more peanut butter. Like right
Yeah,
away.
Adam.
It's peanut butter emergency. Let's get on it. We need some. We like that
Yeah,
almond
we're getting
stuff.
close to that time of year where people just
Peanut
stop
butter jelly time.
responding to you. You know how it is. Like, you're like, oh, see you next year.
Numbnutsco.com.
See you next year, buddy.
Boulder Built.
Look, if you they are in the old Boulder Wellness facility, which has deep connectivity to the show.
Oh, good. Yeah, one of our first sponsors ever back in the day.
I went there because of you
used
guys
to run
one
it.
time.
Yeah, Mitch was managing it for a minute there.
I
was
actually
fun.
met Mitch. That was the time I met Mitch at that dispensary.
Holy guacamole,
Yeah, man.
sir.
Wow. It changed your life then, Mark.
I guess so.
The day your
Changed
life,
your life.
the day your life was-
Ruined my
the day you're like,
Fridays.
Wait a minute, aren't you the guy from
the
that thing
foreseeable
that I
future.
talked about? Was that
Are
the
you
time?
saying I will never have a Friday night off again
Yeah.
for the
Yeah.
rest of my
something
life?
like that.
I love that. I love it. If you go to Boulder Built and you tell them you heard about it on the show, they will take really good care of you. It's the flower I'm smoking tonight.
Oh,
It's
nice.
fantastic.
You got to bring me some of
It's
that
from
fire
last
crotch.
week. Which one do we want?
The fire
Thundercrack?
crotch.
What was that,
Undercrack?
Mark?
The fire
I don't know. I
crotch.
heard Mark.
Oh no, fire crotch. He likes fire crotch.
Yeah, that's the
Oh,
one I like.
fire crotch.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Same as Thundercrotch.
memorable. Duke likes that.
Lindsay Lohan.
Duke's got that or likes that. Anyway, boulderbuilt.com. You can place a pre-order or you can go down to their store. They're really friendly. It's an amazing place. They carry O-tips. Boulder Built in Boulder.
Sunscape.
Sunscape LED, tunable, 3-spectrum from the Chinese mining industry. Adam cleans them with a pressure washer and some Kleenex.
Built tough, and
built to last.
Super.
And what they're showing right there is the control box that controls all your lamps.
Don't let them see that. Don't let them see that.
That's the brains behind everything. So you go to Sunscape LED. Tell them you heard about it on the Adam Dunn Show.
I thought Mateo was the brains behind everything.
Whoa.
Oh, please no.
Jerome Baker.
Then we're fucked. Get the keys from him right now and left driving on the wrong side of the road. So Jerome Baker Glass is a legend in the industry. Head over to Jerome Baker Glass. Take a look at what he's doing. Grab yourself a bong. It makes for a great holiday gift, especially if the stoner in your life is, say, in their 50s. We really understand good glass that we want to smoke flower out of.
If you're in Vegas, go check out the Dream Factory. Right? That's what it's called?
That's it. The Dream Factory in Vegas. Yep.
All right. One more shout out for seatsherenow.com and iwanclones.com. Get the done
Oh,
deal.
you're
at
giving
both
him an
those
extra
places.
one? Oh, my
Boom.
goodness, James.
Yeah,
You
I'm
better
still
up
sticking
it.
around. That's why.
AdamDunnShow.com.
Double down on the money there.
Get the show merch. Maybe you want to buy our crew jackets so that we totally look like a cult. I would like those Nike Dunks to be added to our the Nike Cortezes, right?
Wait
That's
a
the
minute.
one-
Hold on a
that's
sec.
one of the-
James,
I will
you
not be
stuck
wearing
around.
Nike Cortezes.
Why not, dude?
I would. No way.
Yeah,
Are you
dude,
kidding me?
it's
Because
like
I'm
that-
already a chola from the hood.
Yeah,
I
no,
cannot
no.
put those fucking shoes on.
Whatever. But
We
that's
can
the-
reenact the P. Diddy video with our jackets too. It'll be perfect.
Oh, hey, no. James, why don't you...
Our culty is fuck though.
You can't unsee it now, right? Now you can't unsee it.
And we got different colors
Fuck.
of it.
I was about to tell James to use some of his Bitcoin to buy us those coats, but now I can't unsee.
Yeah, you can't unsee it. You're like, fuck.
No.
Those are Diddy jackets.
Buy Vinnie one. Yeah. Can you
they
buy
like-
Vinnie one, James?
Are they baby oil resistant? That's what we need to know.
Oh,
wow.
Yeah, no, they have a baby oil
that's
pocket.
way too soon.
Inside baby oil pockets.
The questions
with
that
batteries.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
I
no,
thought you
just
got like
put them in upside down, and then you can dispense with
Oh, fuck yeah, dude.
right out of the bottoms.
Efficient as shit.
Right,
That
just
is
squeeze on your wrists, and you just comes right into your hand.
Next ad, Mark, please.
Have a great night, guys.
No, what's going on?
What?
What's going on? Hold on.
That's scary.
Running away? No, there's no running away. Because we're not going to do it.
What's the score of the game?
We have to explain we're not doing Patreon tonight, so guys, sorry, but
We
he's
went
gonna
almost an
send
hour
me-
longer.
He's going to send
yeah,
me
that's
videos.
why that is what I'm saying. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Dave, for explaining what I was just trying to explain.
You're still sending
But-
videos, though, right?
But next week we have Legend, the Diamond Mine, which are going to be. So we're going to be very happy to be in studio again with the Diamond Mine man himself, the man behind it himself, and we also got our friend coming in she was coming to see Emancipator at the Red Rocks, which got pushed back to next week. So we're just pushing the whole this week to next week, which is perfect. So Juicebox Box on Instagram, she's coming in, and what's cool is that she's a promoter out of Oklahoma, James, drum and bass, and
Because Oklahoma's huge with that shit.
I know, but she does a lot. She's international stuff, but she's working with some Russian guy who's he's opening up for Emancipator at Red Rocks, and apparently the guy's just about to blow up. So it's like one of those classics. So I told her, hey, let's do a little meet and greet, right? Meet and greet at the So High, which would be kind of perfect. And then Mason, we might have a little rager going on next week at our spot, guys. So
I was so excited to hear that you were going to do this week's show next week. I was going to ask you about that. I was stoked to hear you. Yes.
Dave's a party guy.
yeah,
Well, then what
that got
we'll have
canceled
to
too.
do?
That got
We'll
canceled.
have to do the Green Bros thing Friday. Give Cullen an extra day to get everything. Do the Green Bros Friday at Green Farms.
In the morning.
And then Saturday I'll go to 420.
There you go, even better.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Flicking beans.
Flicking beans.
Oh my god, genius. Yeah. Anyway, so that's it. We made
James,
it.
thank you,
didn't have any
buddy.
how
Love
did-
the
how
bear
did-
photo.
How do we not have any technical difficulties?
Big shout out to Willie for bringing
To Mark
Does this mean
and
we
Vinnie.
never have to go to the studio again? Is that what's going on?
Yeah, we can just do this.
Oh my god.
Oh, don't
Yeah,
give
this is
Mark the
great.
fucking inch, he'll take a mile.
Oh, yeah,
No,
this is-
you're coming
no,
in
we
next
like
week.
this.
Yeah,
Back in
next
studio.
week.
I mean,
Back in
Yeah,
studio.
man, I need a mental health day. We can all work from home now.
Exactly.
We never had mental health to begin with on this show. What the hell? How do we take a day?
Mental
Exactly.
Yeah, what the hell's that?
I heard it was a thing. I heard it was a thing, man. I'm out of the workforce, but if I was around, you best believe mental health.
Ladies and gentlemen,
What's
Duke
funny?
Dynamite.
Oh, my daughter
I
was
saw a meme that said everybody working from home at 11 o'clock, and they show a guy making a coffee and rolling a joint. And I'm like, dude, that is so on point, dude. That is literally exactly what you do. And right around 11 o'clock, and it was like 10:30 when I looked at it.
10:37.
And I was making a coffee, and I was just about to go roll a joint. So I was like, wow, they nailed it.
10:30.
Yeah, man.
Odie and Tim, thank you for sticking it out with us and passing
It's
that.
great
joint
video,
back and
guys.
forth.
Great imagery,
Yeah,
great
amazing.
videos. Great.
Love you guys.
Those four bullet holes have not moved an inch since this.
Yeah, thank you.
We haven't seen them.
Appreciate
Well, that's how you know they're real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get,
you see
get a
that
few more
back
words
shirt.
in.
Adam, you're sending videos for the Patreon people, right? To me?
Yeah, I'm gonna have to go shoot videos for the Patreon.
Oh, never mind. Okay, well,
They'll go up.
It won't be that exciting anyway. It's like a bunch of dirty rooms that are not clean. That's about all I got.
Thank you, Katie, for coming in and joining us. Guys, this is what we all have to deal with on Patreon. You know,
Have to deal with, get to deal with. I'm a fucking pleasure. Are you kidding me?
I didn't mean it in a bad way. I meant that's what you get to see
okay.
when
They
you
all
come
know
on
me, so
Patreon.
they know.
Oh, they all know that, Kate. Once you leave,
Come
the
join us
party
on
starts.
Patreon, though.
You don't even know. As you're on the road driving away, like the people show up and they're like, "Woo,
Vinny.
lady, food, and it's like a rager every week."
Vinny, do you have the audio of Katie's ASMR when she was eating the whole time we were talking in the background?
Nice.
No, but
Do you
if
have that?
Hempsters Plant the Seed is on YouTube for free for that Michael Henning video.
There you
Yeah,
go.
I put the links
Oh.
all up.
Go watch it. Everybody, go watch it.
Can you send a
Critique it.
thank you to Willie for that? That was great.
Good job, Willie.
Fantastic.
Nice. It was like a grand slam. He pulled.
Only just Dave had to make him feel bad and kick him off, and
Who off?
Willie, you kicked him off the show. You were like, "Get out of here, Willie."
Yeah,
No, for the first 30 minutes, we were in the
I know
middle.
Willie doesn't listen when he talks. That's the funny part. So he's
And
entertaining.
he left his
He
Zoom
always-
on anyway.
He always asks the exact same thing that you just went through like for 20 minutes, and then he'll come in and go rabble now, and you'd be like, "Dude, we just literally did that." So yeah, that's Willie style.
You talking about
He's
your
the
homie that
best.
plays saxophone, trumpet, and all that?
Yep.
That's what we're talking about. You know it.
Yeah. He's a cool dude, man.
Willie's hilarious.
He's the one that pulled that together.
Willie's the best. He doesn't listen
he
very
gets,
well. He's the
he
best.
gets a producer credit on the show.
He's never been known for listening. That's not
Mark, make sure in the metadata he gets a producer credit for the show.
Yeah, Mark, come on, man. You don't get nothing.
Yeah,
but
I
he
do
gets
all like that.
producer.
I like
You
that.
Well, nobody has paid our stag dues.
Yeah, we need stag.
Stag?
Yeah, bro.
It's SAG.
I know.
I know, but that's
Yeah,
the
but Mark
running
calls it
joke.
stag because he thinks it's
Idiot.
cooler.
Jesus.
That is cooler, Mark. Kudos.
That's like your porno. That's like your porno. fucking-
Right. Yeah. You need both cards then.
Yeah.
Duke, you
Yeah,
need to come
guys.
back on anytime, man. You're always welcome.
But if you really want to, go look at Rod Pitman on the IMDb page, and you'll be like, "Holy shit!"
Oh yeah, he's done some shit.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, he had a lot of funny stories.
He done some shit. Yeah, I know. Every story was like a what we call a shaggy dog. You know what a shaggy dog is? Like where it just keeps going and going, and somehow
Oh, yeah.
he brings it back. But I was just I don't know if the shaggy dog's ever coming back. It
It
was
was
like
better than the
I
weave.
said,
Yeah.
I love how he was like,
Did Jim Morrison's dad, was he what was he doing, and was that even real?
CIA.
Right.
He was CIA for sure, and the whole thing is that the Doors were just like the boy band of the time, but they were like kind of, they were good and they were trippy, but he was also like, there's some messaging in there, it's not all fucking, it's a very
He
weird,
knows who killed Kennedy.
yeah.
He knows the truth.
Back into
You
the
know,
left.
Dave, you ever see that T-shirt, the "I banged that chick in Hanson" shirt? Dude, I don't know
Oh
why.
my god.
Classic, dude. Fucking classic.
There you go, Vinny. Better late than never.
Finally, Jesus Christ,
Yeah.
you've been slow as hell today.
I lost
Oh.
my laptop, man.
Oh, everybody stay safe.
Oh, so you were just
Don't
hearing.
shovel.
You knew exactly when I wanted them, right? Like when I
Yeah.
wanted them, how I wanted them.
That-
I was like, "What? You're missing the proctologist exam with Dave right now?" While we're talking about sticking Dave's, like everyone's got gloves.
I threw it out there,
Right?
but
Adam, you're at the age you should not be shoveling snow either. You could fall victim to a heart attack. So you just
Yeah.
easy does it out there, man.
Drop
Don't
out, break,
take-
If you-
break
Yeah.
your hip.
if
Go
you
to the
keep up on
doctor,
it, it's not
dig
bad.
up your ass, get your license to grow your pot, and just stay at home. Live a quiet, easy life there, Dunn.
Yeah, sounds like a plan.
It's a slip and fall. Slip and fall.
I can sue myself. Great.
Get you one of those life alert, Adam Dunn.
Adam's disabled. He can't grow seeds anymore.
No more.
Good thing we got the Green Bros fucking machine to take care of that seed thing now. It's okay.
Thank God.
Yo.
Thank God for Green Bros. Let me
Yeah,
tell you.
wait till you see it,
remember the
dude.
day we had to walk up
excited.
the hill to get the seeds.
You know, I actually come up with my own little thing I kept under my hat for a
We
long
can do
time.
that. We can do the seed
Interesting.
one at So High, and we can do the other one because I can't do the seed one at the place because I can't bring seeded plants into the place. So maybe we can do that at So High.
Sure. James, are you paying attention to how many
Yeah.
seed breeders I can help?
Yeah, a whole bunch.
Yeah.
Help me, James. You're my only hope.
Help them. Help themselves.
We got OD
Problem solver.
down in the bottom here. What's OD Wan got?
OD Wan
Obi-Wan.
Kenobi.
Obi-Wan.
Just
Hey, we'll
tell
see
him,
you
man.
guys next
knowledge-
week.
Yeah, next week we heard it here. We got the Diamond Mine, and we've got what is it? Box juice coming through. So we'll see what that's all about. Sounds like
And-
fun.
Katie's
Peace.
going to
all
bring
next
some of her
week.
sauce.
Yeah, hey, look at that 801 on the money, guys. We're nailing it. We're like precision show over here.
Yeah. Thank you,
Yeah.
James.
Oh, look at Odie's
Yes.
face.
Odie!
Hey,
He's like a fucking turtle that came out of his shell after all this time.
Peace, everybody.
nah, look, Odie.
Odie the turtle, he's out.
Odie
he
looks
cuts
like what
himself off,
Gilligan would
it
look
knows-
like if he grew up.
No, Dave, here it is. If you cut his face like from the nose down, right, and just have from the nose up showing, bro, motherfucking Wilson from Tool Time Taylor
Wilson
peeping
Shut
in.
the fuck up. For
Yeah,
sure.
Straight up.
For sure.
For sure.
Wilson.
Yeah. Was that you, Odie? Oh, he's gone.
He's
Oh,
out.
he's like, I'm out.
All
bro.
right.
No,
All right.
he's here. He's gone.
Sick of
He's-
our shit.
All right, guys. Peace out.
Good to
you
see
next
you
week.
all. Have a good one.
Yeah.
Be
Toodaloo.
safe out there. Easy snow. Hey, Bonnie. I'll be home soon. And we're out of here.
This is just, man.
Just us, bro. Doodly doo.
We're still hot though.
Doodly doo.
Yeah, we're still
Mark-
on.
Tell us
Doodly
when-
doo.